Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. Busy morning once again. Lots of things to get to this morning. We have North American stock futures, for the most part, back in positive territory once again, moving higher after a bit of a roller coaster ride in the afternoon yesterday. We had Financial Times report come out quoting the World Health Organization that said Gilead's drug remdesivir did not, in fact, improve COVID-19 patients with severe cases. That was quoting a Chinese study. A lot of analysts were immediately out saying, everybody slow down. Let's wait until we get some actual data from the U.S. When it comes to remdesivir. So big move down yesterday in the afternoon. We came all the way back to the upside and closed still in negative territory, but well off the lows, obviously. 2.6 million confirmed cases worldwide now of COVID-19, 800,000 in the U.S. alone. So still a big problem. Obviously, we'll have a look at Gilead shares coming up, see if there's a possible trade this morning. We have Intel moving to the downside in a big way after their latest quarterly report. Zoom Video Communications, meanwhile, gapping higher. Big move to the upside after the NASDAQ came out and said that they will add Zoom to the NASDAQ 100 index coming up at the end of the month as of April 30th. So we'll have something to look at next week as well. On the data front this morning, final University of Michigan sentiment numbers out at 10 o'clock. We had Asian markets kind of mixed overnight. Europe is back in positive territory, mostly higher at this point. It is Friday. We made it to Friday, April 24th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at North American markets heading towards the open. Just under half an hour to go before we get going here. Nicely in positive territory now. The S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, all nicely higher. The TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.6% to the upside. We have Brazil open already, trading in negative territory. Bitcoin's back to the downside. Yeah, there's crude oil. We didn't mention that. Crude extending gains from yesterday's session. Did come off significantly in the afternoon yesterday, but still 5% higher to start the day today, and gold as well back into positive territory. So we have a lot to get to. Our good friend Arun going to join us in a few minutes here to have a look at the futures markets to get going on a Friday. Guys, going to be a busy one, I think. Lots obviously to kind of pick through when it comes to this Gilead news yesterday. I mean, bit of a wait and see moment maybe when it comes to Gilead and that news. I think everybody kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, as well, just hitting the wire just now, Whiting Petroleum enters into restructuring support agreement with certain of its senior note holders and files Chapter 11. This literally just hit the wires. I was going to show you guys the numbers, but Whiting just dropped through $1.50 all the way down to $1 even on a massive volume spike here. I actually did short a retracement and got half of it out for a bit of profit. It's now running back. I'm going to use this 145 where this all started to 155 and probably try to be shorting this one. Whiting back into play, so it's already going to be a fun one, Brendan. I do want to show you guys the numbers. It's one of the things we talk about here. 30,000 across the board in the top traders by market yesterday. CME 35,000, Amex 34,000, TSX 32,000. So good money made in Toronto. That's where we are. Shout out to Canada. LSE 16,000 and NASDAQ 11,000. Good numbers across the board. It's been a fantastic week. Already getting excited for this, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, same thing with me with WL here. I'm long 122 right now, so I've been taking it out 135, 134. So so far so good on the oil front, but we'll be looking at a bunch of different names today, guys. Follow us on Twitter as well. I've tweeted out a few names that we'll be talking about early. Soon we'll have a watch list ready to go for you guys. But for right now, there it is, getting some out now. Wow, 138 on Whiting, guys. Look where I'm long here. We're just keeps going upside here. Like Neil said, though, bankruptcy is never a nice thing. So we will eventually be getting out of some of this one, but nothing wrong with the 10, 15, 20% win right off the bat here, Brendan.
All right, guys. Yeah, just having a look at these news stories hitting the wire here. Looks like exit Chapter 11. Yeah, there it is. Within 5 months. So a 5-month time period possibly on that report this morning for Whiting. So already off to the races for WLL. Let's get over and say good morning to Valeria.
Hello everyone and welcome to Trader TV Live. I wish you a great trading day and we are here to make it even better. Guys, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more trading content. And of course, like our video and share the link with your friends. If you're watching us from Facebook, like and share our video and join us on YouTube. I'll send you the link. Back to guys, I see you later.
All right, let's get going here this morning. We'll bring in Arun, check in with him for the second time this week and have a look at stock futures heading towards the open this morning. We had some interesting movement, obviously, in the afternoon yesterday. Arun, big move down on that Gilead news, back to the upside this morning. How are you approaching things on a Friday? Good morning.
Good morning, Brendan. Today, the market's up about 1% on the ES futures right now. You know what? For me right now, it does seem to be slowing down. Obviously, there's an upside movement at the moment. I've got my closest stop line at 90. I just want to see how much more buying we can get through these 10s, 28 10s. If we can get some more, I may want to step into a long. But in terms of levels, I'm going to give you guys 28.85. That was the same level I gave you guys on Tuesday. 28.60, that one I've adjusted down from 28.65, which I gave on Tuesday. I looked at it a little bit more, and I'm seeing a little bit of action between 60 and 65. So, sorry, between 65 below, so where you actually got a little bit of space to move it down. So 28.60 is what I'm revising it down to. That 28.35 that I gave you guys on Tuesday, that one was breached yesterday, but it wasn't actually aggressively broken. So that level, if you guys were using Tuesday's level still, 28.35 would have been a level to work with. But since it was breached and I've actually moved the level down from 65 to 60, I'm going to keep 60 as a new level. I'm removing 28.35 out. Below, I've still got 27.40. Yes, 27.40 was breached and closed on Tuesday, but they've reaffirmed that level over the 22nd and the 23rd, so 2 days prior. So now 27.40 is back in play for me, and 26.95 is what I've got on the bottom end.
Overall, Arun, when it comes to this environment that we continue to kind of chop around in, you see that big move down yesterday on that news regarding Gilead, and then the march back higher before the close. How much attention are you paying to these headlines as they come out? Get a big spike down like that. If it takes out one of your levels that you have chosen out, because it's a news-driven event, are you paying much attention to that?
I have to. I can't dissect individual news components. It's just one of those things. I went through the volume yesterday on that news. They did 10,000 contracts within 4 seconds. There's no way you can trade that. And you have to respect, for me at least, if I try to find a way to trade the news, I'm going to run into a whole lot of other problems when I try to play my levels. So you know what, I'm just going to stick to my levels. If the news breaks it, the news breaks it.
I know you're primarily focused on equities. We had obviously a huge recovery over the past couple of sessions in crude oil markets. Again this morning, 5% to the upside, even after a bit of a sell-off into the close yesterday. This strength is hard to avoid when it comes to the energy market as a whole. Are you going to be looking at oil at all today?
I have it up. I don't really trade crude, but I do have it up. There's been obviously a lot of movement inside of it. Inside the crude contracts itself. So I actually am not looking at the crude itself, but I am looking at the ETFs, USO, UCO. You've talked about it, Brendan. I'm looking at those just to see, sometimes when the level of the setups are really clean and the futures markets aren't doing a whole lot, the equity futures aren't doing a whole lot, I might step into something. It's not a high priority for me. So the setup has to be absolutely perfect for me to want to take a shot in that direction. But it is something I have up because you have to respect other parts of the market that are moving when yours isn't, right?
I read a story this morning that said the last time crude oil prices dipped below $10, Reagan was president in the U.S. So obviously it's been a while. The interesting part here is that we had the big sell-off earlier in the week. We had the recovery, but nothing's really changed. Demand has not changed. The inventories were still higher than expected on Wednesday. So more to come, obviously, when it comes to the crude oil markets. As far as the NASDAQ is concerned today, I know we spoke about the ES, but as far as the NASDAQ is concerned, any specific pinpoints or levels you want to talk about?
I can bring it up. What's funny is that I've actually moved away from the NASDAQ. Every time I came on before, I would always trade or give you guys levels from the NASDAQ. But the issue with the NASDAQ I've noticed, and this is something I've talked about before with other guys, is that the NASDAQ and the ES relationship has deviated for some reason. There's rotations happening, and I don't know what the structural movement is, but the rotation has been always a 1% deviation between the two. in terms of lag or lead, right? So between the NASDAQ indexes and the ES indexes, there was a difference of 1% for almost 2 weeks. And for me, in those 2 weeks, a 1% difference between the two indexes makes it very hard to trade when I'm using one against the other. So what I've done is I've moved over to the ESs, which essentially compromises all of the sectors versus just tech, which is just NASDAQ, right? So I'm moving in the ES direction for that very reason. But yeah, if you wanted to get some levels, quick levels, I can give you 8,300 as the bottom end for the NASDAQ. That's a long-term level. And on the top end, I'm looking at about yesterday's high. It's about 8,800, just around 8,800 yesterday.
Great stuff. Arun, always good information when it comes to equities and also on the futures side of things. Best of luck today. We'll speak to you again next week.
Absolutely. See you, Brennan.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at futures as we head towards the open here this morning. Lots of individual names moving around to get to. Let's jump right into things here. Intel, obviously, the big mover to the downside this morning after reporting earnings after market yesterday. Earnings across the board were pretty solid. I mean, the EPS beat, revenue was basically in line. We did have the Q2 forecast that came in a little lighter than expected, $1.10 EPS versus $1.17 expected. 30% operating margin. Intel also did not provide a full year outlook for 2020. So, guys, big time move to the downside on that news after market yesterday. We're opening, I guess, above the low from yesterday after market, but still obviously pretty negative.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you look at the chart, sort of pull it out for a bit more of the week, you can see a few sessions ago we did have a bottom at about 56, just a couple of ticks lower than that. That's essentially where it tried to gap down and hold below in the aftermarket, and we're actually opening above that. So, if you're bullish in Intel, whether it's, swing or you like it intraday, I think giving it a shot through that low is probably going to be worth it. I had 55.25 as a first level to be looking at, but that 56 is going to play prominently. To the upside in terms of resistance, I really didn't have a heck of a lot till you get all the way up to 58.50. So it's going to be one of those ones where I want the market to be up and strong. Right now we're up 1%. Intel, also worth noting, it's a relatively tight pre-market range here, so it's not a heck of a lot of activity on good volume. So I think there is an opportunity here for us to bounce to the top, maybe use that 56 as a quick little bottom. But I don't want to dig in too hard. If I take an initial trade off the open, it'll probably be a tighter stop and look for a better stop point to get in. The first 5 minutes, not usually the best for me on some of these names, so I feel like I'll wait this one out maybe.
Yeah, no, I can pull back the daily chart as well there. I like that 56 bottom. Shout out to a bunch of guys today. I see Tom there, Parrish. Shout out to Pierre from Montreal. What's up coming there? And Cole, yeah, great bringing up Intel here. Yeah, if you follow us on Twitter, we'll be tweeting out some of the names that we'll be talking about early on. And yeah, 56.50, I like that level. We've touched up here a couple times. This is a 3-minute chart on Intel. You see almost 1 million shares. We probably won't, well, we may get to that before 9:30. But 56.40 to the upside here. I do like Intel. You can use a bottom 55.63 or so. Look, numbers weren't bad, obviously. The street didn't like it. They don't forward guide. I don't know which company's actually going to provide a realistic forward guidance at this point. But Intel right now, a name that we'll be looking at for sure with the volume. Remember, Intel doesn't move that much once the market gets open, so we do have to take probably more shares than normal in order to make a decent profit on this one. But I'm going to be going long 56.50, guys.
All right, guys, the next one here, Zoom Video Communications, big time movement to the upside, kind of mirror opposite of Intel, about 4.5% to the upside at this point for ZM. I mean, there was so much to look at yesterday. I feel like we kind of surpassed this one, but this thing had a huge day yesterday, going from 154 in the pre-market all the way up to almost 170. This was all-time highs yesterday, so gapping further into all-time high territory today, guys, going to be added to the NASDAQ 100 on April 30th.
Yeah, next week being added. It's a ridiculous move here, guys. From this secondary bottom here, back in early April, 110 all the way to these all-time highs. Yeah, we certainly probably missed out on this one yesterday. I think you can safely say that, Brendan. It was a massive, massive move, sort of showing you off the open, this 155 break, giving you literally a 10% return. You could have held it to the close, and it never really pulled back on you. So use that top on any kind of a pullback for to 170. I think that would be a target on a retracement in in Zoom. If it starts to roll over, I'm probably going to take a shot shorting it. I'll sort of zoom back in here. I'm going to be probably saying that a few times today. Whether it's through 175 on a break, I'd love to see it take that one out and take one shot at this one. It's up 4.5%, but the story is the 10+% that it was up yesterday as well.
Look, I get some questions here on Invesco IVZ. I'm seeing that in the chat here. So Invesco today off a big move down yesterday, especially in the afternoon here, down to 720, 730 was the bottom yesterday. So here you can see this now gapping up to 750. You do have the 760 level. That might be something here on Invesco. You see a bottom here, 750, before bouncing up to 790. Then once we cracked it again, and that's sort of right where we at right now. So I actually like this name to the long side if you can break above this 760. I like it even more if we can break above 790 here on Invesco. And if we look at a daily chart here, you know, we are low obviously, but look, this is what we're talking about right here. We've touched down here before, 778, 780. This little bottom stopped and closed the day at 760. This was also 760. This was also 760, 770. So we're in that range. I like a long, guys, on Invesco above 760. So that could come into play relatively soon, guys. 220,000 shares. Thank you to everybody for bringing that one up in the chat.
All right, guys. Yeah, just IVZ. Looks like they slashed their dividend as well in half. From 31 cents to 15.5 cents there for IVZ. So yeah, good look on that one. Let's move on to energy stocks here. We mentioned 5.5% now for crude oil to the upside. The entire group kind of gapping up with oil as we've seen, you know, the movement kind of tied to the price for crude throughout the week as far as the individual stocks are concerned. You can take your pick this morning. Apache, Oxy, Halliburton. I saw Rig was in positive territory on decent volume as well. I just brought up Oxy, or I have IVZ up here now, but Oxy I was looking at earlier, guys, was up about 3%.
Yeah, I mean, you take your pick, and I certainly, we've been talking a lot about Occidental. You can look at XOM. I tend to prefer on long days, but Occidental, just as good as any of these, up about 3% on the day, like you mentioned. Worth having a quick look at the trend that it's been going through. It does seem like this 1450 mark could be potential breakout, but I'm watching $18 on the oil contract there. I think that's going to be that key sort of benchmark. And we were watching it yesterday. We're sort of back below it right now. And if you went, there we go, to this, you can see the chart. Bit of a flush when we failed to get through that 18 mark, and I think it makes another run there. I think that's where you maybe get the juice on Oxy to catch that breakout. So I will be watching very, very closely. I might also prefer to have a quick look at XOM as well. I think either one of those plays are good, maybe just a little bit better in Exxon.
Yeah, I like the big caps. We've already taken, I think it was 36 cents or so out of WLL, so that was a good trade. Here are the imbalance locators for the opening trades, guys. So you see CPE here. We can talk about that in a minute. That's over 2 million shares here. DNR.
That's
I know there's some talk about that one in the pre-market as well. JCPenney filing, I guess, bankruptcy talk as well with them. And then here we go. This is what I want to get to. Here's MRO, Marathon. Here's Oxy down here. That's a bid. Here's XOM. That's also a bid. WTI, APA down here as well. So there's your IVZ that we just talked about, guys. 248,000 shares on the bid. But if we're going to look at one of the names, it's going to be XOM. Yesterday's high, 44.70 coming into play here. I like that one, obviously. Anytime you can break a high from yesterday with this kind of momentum to the upside here, I like that one. 44.70 on a break of XOM. This is a 3-minute chart, guys, so that's why VWAP is maybe a little bit more down here. If you do zoom out, though, we are riding this VWAP rate up. So 44.20 is the VWAP break. So we're printing 44.40 now. So I like it. I don't like it right off the open. Like I said, you got to wait for some of these market on open orders to settle down. But if XOM gets going, guys, watch out for 44.75. All
right, guys, time flying by here. Let's keep going. Verizon, another earnings name so far. VZ reporting EPS of $1.26 per share. That beat by about 4 cents per share. Revenue was below expectations at $31.6 billion, missing by about $770 million. So just notice Verizon, breaking this pre-market kind of pivot here around 57.30, moving to the downside. 57 should be interesting, guys.
Yeah, you sort of said there. I mean, if you weren't already looking at it to fade into that level, on the daily chart, it doesn't quite look as clean, that 57 break, but, you know, you can sort of see it moving below that 200 period. It's basically had trouble getting through, but this is why I think that 57.50 in the pre-market, as I was looking at Whiting, This might have actually been just as good of a short, to be honest with you. Looking at yesterday's bottom, 57.50, I think 57 even, a bit of chop at that price if you go a couple of sessions ago, but that was basically at the close, and it was more of a resistance level that actually got taken out. So I like that level. I think maybe I would prefer it to test back up into the 57.50 range and then catch it on the way back down, personally on Verizon.
Yeah, I hit that sleepy button there. Verizon not doing too much. I mean, down 0.89 right now, 1%. I guess 1% for such a big cap name is pretty important. Their big dividend name here, Verizon, looking through the looking glass here. You could break $57. That's obviously going to happen right now. I don't think there's any doubt about that. As we go on, guys, yeah, Verizon top side here. We looked at, I mean, Neil's looked at the daily charts and done all that work here for you guys. 55. I like the 50 period moving average. This is not a VWAP here at all. This is just a 50 period moving average. I do like it when these stocks either trade above or below them for a trend change. So you see now we're above the 50 period moving average. So I am still somewhat bullish on this name. This is 55.72 down here. We're breaking 57 right now. The bottom's been 56.70. We can get there. I like the long. So I like the long around 56.50, guys.
All right, guys, let's shift down to Tesla here. Not a huge move in the pre-market, but I think might be interesting one today. Gapping higher, positive for the pre-market so far for Tesla. They said they're going to increase prices for 2 variants of their China-made Model 3 after the Chinese government announced they will be cutting electric vehicle subsidies. So, yeah, positive here, 1.24% for Tesla. Really, really tight little consolidation forming around this 714. I mean, it was weak yesterday. Maybe a bounce back today for Tesla, guys?
For sure.
It's up 1%. The market's up 1%. Yeah, you talked about tight consolidation. I usually, when I'm trading Tesla, would like to look at some of the insignificant levels, and you are basically riding just above one at that 72.15. I think that's why you're getting this consolidation. You can see the big pivot that it was 2 days ago. On the way down, you got busted out yesterday, but then again, you did have a very consistent downward trend. So I think that's probably going to be a good support level for any of your longs here in Tesla. I just put in the chat, missing out on Smile Direct all the time here, but just watching it brush up to about 550, that looks like an interesting break for me, some potential to get maybe back to that $6 mark. So have our eye on Smile Direct as well.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Smile Direct too, because I always miss that stock, and I love that stock. 550, yeah, okay, 550 is a good one. Tesla here, this is the level I'm looking at here, 716, 718. We bounce off here. This is just a 3-minute chart again, guys. So here's 716, 718. Made some marks here, made a mark there again. Came down, tested 714 before bouncing up. Came crashing down from 728, stopped at 714, then went straight back up. And then yesterday, after crashing through, made new highs, lows, so on and so forth. So I think we're bouncing right around this little level right here. You can see even if you go back a couple more days, you do have 716, 718 even down here. So we are pivoting around this spot. So I like a long through. I guess it's about 718 or so. The high here is 716, but I don't want to take that right away. This is 716.20. This is kind of levels I'm looking at through 718 or so on Tesla, guys.
All right, guys, a couple of small caps I want to get to before we get to the open, but Boeing, I think worth mentioning today, looking a little weak at this point, moving back to the downside a little bit. Bloomberg reporting that next week when Boeing reports earnings, they're also going to announce they're cutting production of the 787 Dreamliner in half, and also will announce further job cuts coming up with their earnings report next week, guys. So yeah, I mean, tight little consolidation for Boeing here, but also looking like it might break to the downside.
Boeing. I didn't even have a look.
It looks like it might, but then you look at the chart on the week and look what's basically happened below this 137 mark, and it's flat on the session and pretty much exactly flat, almost to the penny here. And all week long there's been like a 135 area support. So I guess that gives you a couple of bucks to work with on Boeing, and then you go to the daily chart and you see just how much it's leveling off in front of those earnings for next week. So I don't know that I'm going to be all over this one today. I think it'll be a good play next week. Let's see it break out of this range a little bit before we jump into that one. So Boeing, I don't know that I'll be all over it. You guys have asked quickly about MDGS. I'm going to go to that one. If you were really, early bird gets the worm, and if you were talking in the chat earlier this morning, I was mentioning that we did like a retest on this one. It was up 83% right now, but over 90% earlier in the session. And 290 got tested a second time, and this is where I like it to the short short side. We didn't have any locates. So I'm going to keep trying to get those, but it did give you the nice flush already. Worth noting that it is basing out a couple of times off this 230 level, albeit on some light volume, and it is just the pre-market. But I think that's an interesting one to see if it can hold 230. On the way back in, if it is able to break it, I do think there's at least a chance that you can get down to that $2 mark, but it's looking for now like there's a bit of defense going on at that price. So I think it's worth watching MDGS, but I'm not going to be able to short this one yet at 290 because we don't have the locates yet. If it breaks 310, I think that's also a break to the upside.
All right, I know, yeah, we've been looking at a few things. I really like that Smile Direct. We're looking at that as well. I may get into that one in SDC. This is going to be a big play here, I believe, anyways. Breaking through 550. We stopped at 550 yesterday in the morning a couple times. Then when we broke it early, we did head to the south or to the north side, about $6 there. Then breaking 550 down here comes to 525. So really great structured trader, Smile Direct Club. We know it can run, so let's wait to see. I just hope I don't get into two. I mean, the spread right now is 6 pennies. I do have a bid a little bit lower here. I will play the 550 break on SDC. But yeah, welcome to Kevin and Adam as well in the chat today. Those are going to be two guys that are helping us out. Those are traders on the floor here. So shout out to Kevin. Kevin, let me know what you like there in the chat today. I haven't been paying too much attention here. I know you're talking about Tesla right now, but give me a name if there's anything that you like that we haven't talked about. Kevin, very smart guy, likes to look at levels, has a lot of retail trading experience as well. So yeah, it should be a really fun day. Right now, I am focused on SDC and a little bit of Intel, guys.
All right, guys, small cap world. Let's go to Mesoblast, MESO, the most obvious one here in the pre-market. Obviously, 130% move to the upside on huge volume. 15.5 up here, obvious level, 16 the next stop for this thing. We sadly have no locates, but like this one in front of 15.5 to 16, that kind of area. They came out and said one of their new cell therapies that they've been working on has had an 83% success rate in treating COVID-19. Guys.
Ooh,
that's one that I'm also looking at here, Brendan. I like that 16 area for a top, and I'd like to see it tested. It did do it one time earlier in the session. It just made a move there now to 66, but it couldn't get back below down to that 14 area, which I thought 14 would be an interesting break if it happened after the open, especially if we could have held below. That hasn't happened yet, but when you get these high flyers, I think you've got to be prepared to take breakouts in either direction. So my first inclination is if it holds below this lower high at 1570, we'll try shorting it off of the open. Otherwise, we'll probably be looking for a 14 break or 16 coming off the top there. So MESO is going to be a good one. I know a lot of you guys are looking at it. We got about 2.5 minutes to go before the bell. You guys are asking in the chat, just so you guys know, DraftKings, that is today. It is on the NASDAQ. Due to a bit of an error here, we don't have it in our system, so we can track it through charting maybe, but we aren't going to have the quote to be able to trade it. It might be a decent one today, but we'll keep tracks and tabs of it in case you guys are interested.
Yeah, it should be a great one today, and we'll be having a DKNG on Monday for sure. So we only have about 2 minutes to go. I think it's Valeria on the bell, so she'll be there. I see everyone talking about her new hairstyle, so we'll see what you guys think about that as she gets up to go over there to the bell right now. Yeah, I'm always following Twitter, guys. So we do have Daniel Shea today on from Simpler Trading. We did talk about that. If you check out again our Twitter, it's all over that, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. Big guest today, Daniel Shea. She's been on CNBC, Fox Business News and whatnot, and been on our show 2 or 3 times. So follow us all on Twitter. Follow at tradertv.live and the 3 of us as well on Twitter. I think we need to give Valeria a Twitter account. I don't know if she has one for us, but we'll have to get her on that. And thank you guys. Make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit everything you possibly can. We need to get to 10,000 subscribers before we start doing some more interesting things with you guys, including merchandise. Everybody wants that merch. I'm into SDC right now. I see some questions on the chat about when to get in, and I just said now, so I took it. So put your money where your mouth is a little bit here. We're going to wait to see. I'm in now. I'm going to be in more once we break through 550. You guys know how I trade. So we'll be hammering this one through 550. I just hope I don't miss it. So we average a small position right now, guys, here at what am I long at? 45 now. We'll wait to see if SDC tops off the bottom here of about $5. That should be good. And then here goes Intel. Does touch down there, 55.80. That's not a bad level as well. I like Intel to the long side. I like the company. Strong dividend. Plays are in value right now. So let's take I guess 56.40. Let's take if it breaks off the top here. We'll take Intel, and then we'll use this bottom 55.80 or so as I look over at a few different charts, guys. Should be an exciting show. Welcome. Hopefully we can get a record today, guys. But buckle up. It is Friday.
Every day is almost a record. Just noting here, JCPenney rubbing up on a 24 level. It's held almost all pre-market. So let's watch if it can hold this for a bit of a sell opportunity. Sean mentioned Valeria will be ringing the bell, and that's going to be in just about 10 seconds. That means we got to drop that little countdown for you guys. Here comes the opening bell. We are watching Whiting, which came almost all the way back here, guys, to that 150 mark. So
here we go.
With 3, 2, and 1, market is about to open. There we go.
Good job, Larry. Yeah, the market is now open, so we're going to see Smile Direct is the only position I have on right now. Nothing else hitting, and Smile Direct not doing much. So Smile Direct sleepy right here. As soon as we get through this 546, we'll probably blast through this 50 level, and then we'll get ignited. But right now we're long $5.45 on this name as well. There's INO in play. Intel, we could check back on Intel quickly. Oh my God, I missed. So my Intel buy goes out at 56.45 and we miss it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen to you sometimes when you catch these little breaks. Intel not aggressive enough. I'm going to park something for a pullback. If it does slide back down, I'm going to see if we can't grab it on a quick little pullback retracement. Whiting got up to 150, and I went to go short it, but got distracted with Intel. That was a level yesterday. You should remember that. So I'm going to take one crack here immediately on Whiting as well. We also have that INO position. Smile Direct is going through that 550 that we're talking about, so lots of activity already, but the big miss is probably going to be Intel.
Yeah, we've got Intel long now, and it's just a small position. I am waiting for it to fall back down here because we did miss that 56.40 level, which we wanted to. So it looks like it's coming right back down into this level. So that's going to be a good one for us when we get long down here. Smile Direct, we're long at 50.50 right now. It's at 50.57, so a quick 7-penny winner right there. We just took out a little bit. This is my call right now. I hope you guys have this. Gave this one to you. I told you we were strong and long on this one. So instantly a nice little explosion here. Quick little 8-penny winner on Smile Direct. Not bad for a $5 name, guys.
Yeah, and there goes Whiting, guys, right through that 140 mark. I'm just ticking into it a little bit late to the party, but this is a short, basically in front of that 150, taking one shot. This is where it started out on that flush. When the news came, I did mention INO to you guys. That's starting to go to the downside. This was one that we've been in pretty much the entire pre-market. I did tell you guys we had expectation it could roll over. We're short 45s here. Just got some out at 28. Going to see if we can't work some more shares out in the 30. Looking for a flush, maybe down to 12 even on that one, but it's already a slap shot on INO. Fantastic trade. Intel starting to run to the upside, so longs working, shorts working, but the market not moving. You got to have the movers, baby.
Guys, catapult again. Do we have Intel? Yes, we do. We took some at 56. We took some again at 80. Just some at 90 and 97 there. So a nice little big time winner already. I mean, guys, welcome to the show. This is what we do every day. Okay, Smile Direct also, guys, now a beautiful trade. Once again, we're back up to this level. So let's wait to see if Smile Direct can't get above this 560 level. I don't have any orders. I have some orders parked out. Here we go. Bang! Floss it off. 68s, 69s. Let's go. We're waiting for 58s. The money just gets rained in once again. There's another winner for you guys. Welcome to the party. This is what we do. Out some at 65. Let's wait to see if we get some 68s now on Smile Direct. The party just keeps going. Look at Intel, another reload all the way down here again. So let's keep going to the top side.
I'm arrows down here because I got Whiting moving to the downside. Fantastic short. INO also getting out of that one, and both longs working out. So Smile Direct and Intel both working to the upside. I'm holding through 57 on Intel. Holding INO through 25 if we can cash that one. Whiting actually looks like it's a bit of a buy trend since that bit of news, guys. So gonna take a few more shares off in front of VWAP there because it is actually seeming relatively strong given the news.
Yeah, look at Intel going here, guys. Great little trade. We're long 56.60 right now on Intel. So a quick 30-penny move. Bang, there it is out 56.98. I hope you guys join us every day. Here we go, Intel. We still got this one, guys. 56.56 right now. A 70-cent winner on board for Intel. So hit the cowbells, guys. Here we go. 2 for 2. Pretty huge right now. A big trade on Smile Direct. Bang, bang. We have that. Follow us on Twitter. I'll be posting this soon. And then here's the Intel trade. This is a 3-minute chart. I'm going to make this a 1 minute so you can even see even better what these reloads were all about. Look at this. 56.51 down here, guys. Bang, bang. These Intel trades just keep on coming, guys. No car crash here today. What a big day to start with on a Friday, guys.
Zoom just went all the way to 181, now pulling back to the pre-market top right at here at 178. Let's see if there's a VWAP retracement pullback play on this one. I think you can take one stab in front of 177, and that's going to be your shot. So I'm going to go long here in Zoom if we can pick these ones up and see if we can't get a secondary move.
Yeah, congrats to everybody else as well. Thanks for that. You guys want the chicken dinner, and there it is, guys. Lots of chicken dinners tonight here. Intel way up, 61 cent winner right now. We're getting out of it though. We tapped some out there, 57.06. Let's see what happens. Intel, what a run. Smile Direct, what a run as well, guys. We're long 550 on that one. Thanks for the congratulations once again. I will hit the air horn for everybody there. What a great call that was. I almost feel like a little bit of Street Fighter action on this one because that was a perfect call right there. 550 in. We take it in the pre-market, 545, take it back again right here. Now we're just easing out of this position. I don't know, it's not really running right now, but I still have about 70% on. So let's take a little bit off.
Yeah, and here comes that secondary move we're talking about, that VWAP bounce. I mean, Zoom's been so strong. You talked about the 15%, in the last couple of days, and you see it trying to retest that high. Usually I'm going to have an expectation that it fails through that first top the second time around. So we do have 178.42 to the long side, about about $1 or so, looking for that $1.50 mark on that quick little pullback trade. So again, when I take this one, it's just going to be a VWAP bounce play. This is not the break through the high, looking for that secondary push. This is playing that quick little bounce, some people that got caught long at the top, flushing out, and then when it snaps back, you're looking to pick this one up. So quick $1.50 winner. I think it could test the top. Maybe you want $2.50. I like both of those. Just depends on your risk tolerance. I didn't want to give it too much, so you don't have to hold on for as big of a home run. Zoom, I mean, we missed it all day yesterday, but a great one today. Arrows up.
Yeah, Zoom, good one, and bouncing around too, back and forth on Zoom. So great little trade there. What's up, Brandon?
Some of the tankers going again, guys, showing some strength. The NAT here, 4.2%, right at this pre-market high, which is a little bit of a level from the morning yesterday, that 570. Buying volume coming in on some of the tankers, guys.
Tankers,
yeah, absolutely. And so I've actually already traded 5. And yesterday I said I don't want to get into too many things too early, but if the setups are there, the setups are there. And it's going to be some fireworks here on INO. I mentioned to you guys when I got into this one that we wanted to hang on to some shares for a flush down to 12 even. So 12.40 was my average price. My last entry, 47, is what you'll see. We still have that last 15% of the position looking for the flush into 12, but just took some out at 12.18. So about a 25-cent win overall on this latest flush. The mistake here is when you're trading 5 names, I did miss this pullback right in here to 12.40 for a fantastic reload shot. So this is going to happen if you're focusing on only one name at a time. I think that's where you want to pick some more up, very similar to what we were doing in whiting yesterday. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic trade if you had INO. You didn't want to let it get through that 65 mark off the open, but realistically it held pretty well there, and then the pre-market top held at 70.
Yeah, I like that INO, but I was waiting for a bigger move on INO to the upside, but a nice little pullback there.
It might still do that, actually.
It could, yeah. Anything can happen today, especially with these drugs. You never know when these trials will be completed and whatnot. Okay, Tesla fades down, breaks through that bottom of 710. So right now, I don't really have too much on Tesla, unless you do like to short. The market just crashed a little bit there. So Tesla, this closing spot yesterday, we did get low here, 703 and change. So maybe if we break down below 703, Tesla's short side might come through today. Just looking back at Intel does dip down a little bit. We still are long Intel as it's breaking through the day's high at 57.20, even though the market is downside. What's up, Brandon?
Sometimes there's a reason, or maybe an after effect when it comes to not having shares to borrow and for shorts. This meso, guys. Wow, we went from 15.50. I was talking about 15.50 here in the pre-market. We're now at $20 for MESO. It's up 200%, guys.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, guys. That's a bit of a missed play. And I did just mention when you're trading a lot of names and 5 names here, that was a 16 break. That was a pre-market top break. And then it halts up in your favor. No reason to get out. It opens and holds the halt level. So we're in an upward parabolic move, guys. And for me, a lot of times when you miss those big moves, I'm usually waiting for some kind of a big time retracement. I won't touch it to the short side until it shows some serious rejection, whether that's halting and then holding the lower end of that range below a halt price, or just some gigantic selling come in, like what we did with whiting. We just sort of waited it out and then got that fantastic short, which ended up for me better than the actual long, which was a great one. Another name we want to get back to, I know you guys have been asking a little bit about Gilead. Of course, with the news yesterday, it's going to continue to be in play. It just made a massive flush off the open. So if you're looking for a trend to be played to the downside in Gilead, let's look for pullbacks into the 77.50 range that can hold, and then maybe we'll jump into it. But for me, still have Smile Direct Club here to the long side, INO to the short side. And keep in mind, we have Adam and Kevin from our trading floor. Of course, we're doing distancing, so it's going to be blank behind us. No one's actually in here, but Adam and Kevin, two of our best traders, are in the chat to answer some of your questions, as Sean and I obviously are busy trading the markets.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out right here. Big trade on Intel, guys. We are now up 80 cents on this trade, and I just tweeted at Daniel Shea, who will be with us today as well. Join us at 11:50 for Daniel Shea. Coming up, here we go. Intel right now, guys. Floss that guy off for us right now. Nice little dollar winner on Intel. So the party keeps continuing. Dollar winner on this $57 name, and it could even be a lot more than that because, well, I mean, it's still $1 is $1, but we did try to get this 56.40 break. We did it. I had to pay up here, 50s, 60s, and then 80s I had to pay. But that's when you believe in something, you average in and you can reload, and now you celebrate with a little bit of a catapult. Smile Direct, we're also in here. This is another big trade. I've only made 2 trades today, big and big right here. So now we'll wait. We've topped off at 555, 558. I'm still waiting for this. Look at these outs, guys. 66s, 65s on SDC. I'm waiting for the bottom, 525 or so. But Smile Direct looks like a good little name for us here. I may get out of some of this Intel if we break back down below 57.15 right here, guys. That's going to be my kill spot. Brendan.
Another big one, guys, a big mover anyways. PSTI, little therapeutics company, they announced this morning they've secured new financing for their work on COVID-19. So huge volume coming into this thing. We just broke $13, even up 26% for PSTI.
Good look there, Brendan. And MESO is halted again, and it's now halted to the downside. So it did make a massive pullback all the way to 1683. So that happened rather quickly, getting through $20 and then coming all the way back through that 17 mark. So the initial halt was to the upside at 718. The break in the pre-market top was at 16 even. It's right in the middle of those two prices. You really, really want to see when it opens back up, and it should be a volatility halt. So that's about 4 minutes from now, whether it holds the bottom end of that range there underneath that 17 mark, ideally, 1718. And then if it does that, it could be worth a tiny short. However, it's already come back too far. So unfortunately, might have missed the boat on that one. We did not miss the boat on INO, however. Like I mentioned here, this is the short we're looking for, down into that 12 even range, low of the day 1210. We're short at 1247 here, looking to get some more shares out. Of course, it's already been a fantastic trade. I have a trailing stop that's going to be just above VWAP here, not at, but just above, so around that 40 mark, we'll get out and lock in profit. Don't want it to turn into a loser. I'm going to consider a reload as well.
And guys, here we go. There's the home run. We'll finish off our Intel trade. It is out now. So this is exactly what we're talking about, guys. This is why you got to have your stop orders. A lot of you are here for education. And then, so here it is. I mean, this is where you get out. 57.15, we got out of that one. Now it's down to 57. So if you want to reload, you can. But we saved ourselves to smooth, let's just call it 15, 20 cents here by getting out once we broke through this level. You can't hold things forever. So there you go. Intel, nice little win there for us. Now coming back to the upside, but that's just where you get out. Sometimes you got to have these markers. If we take out 57.50 again, though, I think we can re-energize this long. I'm going to wait. It's a little too choppy here. We did come from all the way here up, now all the way back down, retracing. You could bounce off VWAP. 56.89 on Intel could come into play. I did want to tell you guys, I am waiting to go short on Tesla, though. A 703 break gives me back to yesterday. So right here, 703 and change. We break that. Let's go short on a stock that I absolutely love, which is Tesla, but we're going to wait to see on that one if it does break through 703. This guy will be short, but we're looking for more names, guys. So hit us up if there's anything that you guys
one of those names is THMO, and I was talking about this one a bit in the chat. I did have it on my list, but of course, I'm not going to sit here and trade 5 or 6 of these small caps at the same time. Not really necessarily all small caps, but I do like this one. It did flush already through this 915, 920 area, giving you a decent trade in here, about 40, 50 pennies. I'm first looking looking for a pullback in front of 950 in VWAP.
Wow.
We'll see if we can catch that. But right now, Brendan, what do you have for us, bud?
Apple, guys, looking quite nice today, 1.3% so far to the upside, 277.5. Little pivot here from the pre-market, got taken out on decent volume as well, up to 279. Apple among the leaders so far for the NASDAQ, guys.
What is going on? Like, the market's crashing here. We're going to have to wait to see here on AMD. 50. I mean, if the market's going to crash, so will AMD. So 54.40 here at the bottom. AMD looking to take that if it does crash down here with the market coming through. You can see we're back to this 28. I mean, the problem is, guys, we talk about this all the time. It's this 2,800 level. We're bouncing around it. We've only tipped down a little bit. Watch out for this break. 27.93 to the downside. We could come back down here. 27.70, 27.80. So watch out for this break right here. 27.93ish, 94ish, because you also have a bottom back down here. If we break that, I don't think we'll have a problem hitting this, or hitting this. So I'm looking for about 27.75 look again. That's about 20 handles lower. So if you do have any ideas for shorts, watch out for those spots. 54.80 on AMD. If it comes back up here, we can look to break that long. But AMD's down 2% when the market's up. So I don't like that for a long time.
Sean, the market coming down, crude oil going up towards that $18 mark. And you remember what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Have a quick look at XOM and, of course, at Oxy as well. I just saw Whiting falling back down. I just saw a pullback in XOM with crude marching to the upside. So VWAP retracement, I like XOM here. I'm going to take this pullback to the long side. If we can break 18, I gotta love this trade here. If XOM can make a run at 45, you're picking it up in the 60s with a 44.40 is a decent level earlier on in the morning here. So let's take a shot here, grab the XOM to add it to the long we still have in Smile Direct. We took some out for profit and then tried to hang on for the rest, and also have that INO short still.
Yeah, I'm looking, I like that XOM long. We're going to try to get long right now on XOM as well. So we'll see if that can hold through, but it's all about breaking through that 50 level, and like Neil said, 44.40 or so down here. Let's take XOM to the long side if we can get it. But for right now, not really in too much. I'm just chilling out with this Smile Direct Club. It didn't wind up going. We still have some shares here on this name. I'm still waiting for this to go. Who knows if it will with the market coming down, though. It doesn't look like a good one. We are waiting for XOM to come through. I'll start getting some shares here before 50. I have a bid at 60, but doesn't look, I don't know, maybe we get to that. But what's up, Brandon?
I'm just going to check, guys, to see if there's anything on Beyond Meat, because, yeah, Beyond Meat up 10.9% on the day. Just broke 110 on monster volume. Obviously, Starbucks-related news earlier in the week regarding China, but BYND, guys.
All right. I like Beyond Meat.
I mean, yeah, definitely a big-time mover. I'm actually looking at the Smile Direct. The volume's pretty good, but it's been rather sleepy. After getting almost top wick here at 565, I am looking at it holding this 42 area from the pre-market, but that was literally no volume. So I don't know that it's great support. I'll probably give it to 540 at least and see if we can't load up some more shares here in the 40 range. So Smile Direct was still on the radar, but that XOM position that we put on, that was in the hopes that we have a nice little move up and breakthrough in crude oil. And that's one of the things that was going to be important, but we just turned around off that 18 area and we're sliding back downside. So we still have an upward trend. Overall, you're going to want to see if we can hold 1750 and make another run at it. The positive thing about Exxon, and this is why I'll trade this over something else, is it's just relatively strong in the space. So you're still catching a bit of a VWAP bounce with that pullback in crude oil futures. So I don't mind this play at all because I think it has a lot of other things going for it here with Exxon. We'll probably still give it to that 1445 mark. I'm not going to be loading up too heavily unless we get another run at that 18 though.
Okay, yeah, good. I'm long XOM right now as well, and here we go. We are short Tesla now. Tesla's short here, 702. What's my price? 702.55. So we're right here, but that's a short in Tesla. Let's see if that can work, especially if this market comes crashing downside. I don't really have too much of a target. We did blow that yesterday. We're obviously pretty low. If we go down here to, let's check out like a 10-minute chart here if we can and check a load. We did have some trouble getting through 700 before, so I'm wondering if I take out half for maybe a $3 winner. I don't know why this chart's not loading, guys, but we're going to wait to see if we can take the 697 out, especially if it is one of these names that continues to go to the downside here. So we do have Tesla short, and I did just get into a Beyond Meat long. So right here, we are now long. I got to zoom back in here. We're long here ahead of 109. I kind of like this 107 area on a VWAP. So Beyond Meat is upside, but obviously they're not going to be able to hold if this market comes down, but nice little 8% mover here. I'm long 109 on on Beyond Meat, guys.
Yeah, big one, Beyond Meat. I'm going to throw the position board up for you guys that haven't seen it yet this morning because I haven't put it up. So let's throw it up. I only have 3 positions as the market tries to bounce at 27.90 on the ES, but I'm short that INO. No, check that. I'm not. We just got out at 12.03, so that 47 short you can see there. We just covered it. Smile Direct just busted back up through 50s. We still got that 52. Missed the reload down at the bottom. XOM is moving to the upside. We got 62s long on that one as well.
Guys, here comes Tesla. Let's see if we can break it. Can we break through 700, baby? We are short 702.50, and banger, there it goes, right down to 698 and change. Let's see if it can't keep crashing. You won't believe this. My bid's at 698.02. We went as low as 698.20 there. So I was waiting there. We missed a nice little $5 winner on Tesla by 4 cents there. So we're still bidding 698.02 there. We'll slide that up, but look at this banger once again. Floss it off. Whether or not you take it off now or not, there's a quick $3 on Tesla. Let's see if we can't go more to the downside on this one. Tesla for the win temporarily. We'll see how far this one can go down. What's up, Mr. Wicked?
A little transport company, guys. National Express here, NEX. It's still positive, but big time reversal up there at 290. We crashed back through 250 on the way back to 2 even. A little transport company with earnings today. They did have a couple of downgrades and price target cuts as well. So NEX, guys.
All right, yeah.
Market is really sliding down here, so that's going to put pressure on that XOM. 44, 45 is where my stop is going to be. Don't want to let it get past that. I got my finger around the trigger here, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw a stop order. I didn't actually load up in the position, so we can let this one go with a stop on XOM. Unfortunately, you did have that turnaround in oil futures. We did understand that that was going to be a bit of an issue for us. We couldn't break to that 18, but the upside potential, if you catch that break, is too good to ignore. I need to let you know we did just get some Smile Direct out there as well, so we'll jump over to this one. It just busted back from VWAP, and missing the reload at 46 is not a reason not to take some profit out on the way up. We took some at 65 the first time. This time we'll take some off at 58. I do want to be getting more shares if we get back to that 45 range.
Look at this, guys. Beyond Meat, explode the money once again, getting out at 110. Let's see, bang, there it is again. Another out at 110 here. We're long 109.25. Dollar winner on Intel for you. $5 winner on Tesla, crushing Smile Direct as well. So here we go, guys. We are long Beyond Meat, 109.25 down here. So here we go, guys. Crying no more. Beyond Meat, Brendan looking to take out that top. Great call on that one. Let's see what's going. We step in front of a falling sword here, and look at the payday now cashing in on that one. So nice little trade here happening for us on Beyond Meat. Big time runner here. Now in the money, $1.80. Brendan, we're at day's high right now. Obviously not all time high. Here it goes. We're long 109 right now. 109.25 on Beyond Meat. We take some out here. Wow, what a runner. There it is, guys. Explode the money. We're done already. That's the day. Hello. Here we go, guys. Check the trades. These are all legit. Let's go.
Having a quick look at Whiting as it just pulled back to that magical 125 mark. So it did just make a big move downside. 125 was the best long yesterday. We're going to jump back in at the same price. As the market tries to make a little bit of a bounce here, we are seeing a nice level made. I'm not going to let it go past that 25. Ultimately, we did just get stopped out on that XOM. That's our first losing trade of the day. We're basically flat with the exception of that Smile Direct, which we're still holding to the long side and now jumping into a Whiting trade. Just looking for a scalp back up to VWAP. It was support yesterday. The market is also turning around. Let's take our shot here. It's already working in the money for us. So a quick little one here. It's done 24 million shares. So in and out of Whiting is always going to be a fantastic opportunity for you with the volume that it is doing.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the show. I see some compliments and thank you for that, guys, on the chat. I just want you guys to enjoy the show and hopefully make some money with us. I've had the bangers today, so it's definitely been a floss city kind of day for us here as we go. And but right now, wow, I'm seeing World Wrestling Entertainment shares up. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Earnings name, WWE beating, surprise, surprise, on earnings. Get your best Vince McMahon ready, guys. 44 even here, holding as support on WWE.
Brandon, you're fired. So there you go. Everyone, if everyone's watching WWE, blast from the past there. What a great product. But I know that they were running up huge. I've pulled back a little bit here, but look at this out on Beyond Meat. Bang, bang, bang. We now have 10% left. We're going to hold for some more upside on this one, but I'm super happy with the way this Beyond Meat trade worked. And I actually had a pending bid down here, 107.62, right before VWAP, to see if we got some more shares long. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, we did not, so boo-hoo on the Beyond Meat reload. But yeah, it's been a cash money trade for us today for sure. We did also lose on that XOM, so we're going to wait to see if we can build back into that position. NVIDIA, Facebook, maybe here crashing down a little bit as well, down that 2% today. I noticed Apple, based on Brendan's talk there, was stronger than most of these names today, but here's Apple, here's Facebook, 182. This might be a decent short spot, especially if this market does want to turn around off that level. And yeah, by the way, when we crashed through there, we gave you that call. It only dropped down to 27.82. I said there wouldn't be any problems here, but I thought that maybe we'd get back into 27.75 area. So let's hold out for a little bit more of a move downside, Brendan.
Another earnings name, or coming up next week, I should say, didn't report, but Overstock, guys, moving higher today, 11.5%. Right at 9 even, was a little bit of a level yesterday morning after a big sell-off followed. But OSTK reporting April 30th, guys, pretty strong today. Let's go to Valeria.
Hey guys, I know that a lot of traders beginners watching our show, and we are having something for you. We are getting ready to post some educational series on our channel for you. So guys, subscribe, you don't want to miss that. We are going to explain what's VWAP, what's long, what's short, and many more other educational stuff. And also, even though Neil, Sean, and Brandon are real pros and they are trading for many years, our channel is relatively new to YouTube, and our next goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers. Guys, please subscribe for our channel. We really need your support, and let's build a trading community. Yeah. Also, hit the thumbs up. Let's reach 500 likes today. Can we do that? Back to traders.
I think we can, guys. I just took some out of whiting. It failed at VWAP, and we grabbed some out for another profitable trade. But watching Zoom roll way over here, it just went down to 172.50 on a basically almost $10 flush. It just pulled back into 175. I had a long trade for $1.50 on this one. We're going to look to see if we can't short this one on the way back in and use some of that profit to maybe now play the downward trend. The market is sliding. Zoom, the first spot when we came in was that it could roll over through this price. So we're taking it for the first time here short side, but it's going to be a tight stop for me. It's through that 175 mark. I won't let it go past that. Not really risking a heck of a lot here to see if we can't retest the lows.
Yeah, good look on all of that, guys. We want to retest all of these lows if you are short, of course. But look at Beyond Meat now, once again at this day high. This is 111.69, so we do have a nice little $2 winner on for us right now. We're still working in this Tesla spot here. It just keeps bouncing around here. I put a bid now down in the 700 area to take some out of this trade here. It doesn't look like it wants to go too much. I am trying to be patient with these futures, guys, here, but it doesn't look like, Tesla should have bounced, come right back down to that 698 level, but it did not. So we're going to wait to see here if we crack. Remember, guys, I did give you this call here before we even broke. 27.94, breaking that one, comes back to resist it again, now falls back down. So that's a quick little 7 or 8 handle scalp there on the futures. I do think that we can break once again, obviously 27.85, come back down to 27.75 here on the downside of this name. But wowzers, there goes Beyond Meat. Hit the air horn for this one. Brendan, this is a $3 winner. So you guys want the trades. We crushed WLL today. This is $3 plus on Beyond Meat. So let's hit the stock logos now. I think we have one for Beyond Meat. There it is. There's the Beyond Meat little stock logo there. Let's put an order out. I don't know. Do we get out at 113 or not? Put it on the chat what you guys like. Do you like these $3 winners here on Beyond Meat? But maybe we should get out at 113. I don't know. Higher levels up. We're nowhere near there. We're taking out all-time highs for not all time, but all year highs here on Beyond Meat, up 13+%. Hope you're enjoying the show. Here comes 113. It looks like we can crash through that, but once again, guys, it is a slap shot winner. Sorry, there's no NHL, but if you want the goals and a couple of hat tricks, we have them for you today, guys.
Yeah, hat tricks. We've got 6 symbols on, but only 3 positions right now. One of them is THMO. I know some people were looking at that name. I did talk about this one on a pullback. We like that retrace in front of 950. You can VWAP as well, whether you like it there or not. I actually have 27s here as my price. Certainly I would like to have added a bit more if it had gotten to 40. It just didn't do that yet. So this is our starting position there. We still have that Smile Direct. We're working off of that 540 mark. It's back down to 544. My price is going to be 48. You guys have asked about MDGS. I just want to remind you, didn't have locates on this one, and this is why we missed out on the short opportunity. Yeah, but sort of alert to this 260 mark. If we can hold and do volume above, this is a potential breakout. I'm not forcing along in this because I can't go short. Legitimately above this price, it looks like a decent breakout. Just watch out for that 310 ultimate top. That was that pre-market area that it faded off of, and I liked to be short in front of it, but we couldn't get.
Yeah, we're going to tweet this Beyond Meat chart out because, guys, we are now out. That's $3, and that's a slap shot, and that is a chicken dinner winner. So there you go, guys. You guys want those calls, and here it is. Look at Beyond Meat now falling back down. In here, out 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 outs. So that's 75% or 80% of our trade. We hold the last 10% for a nice little $3 winner to the top side. Look at the damage that we've done there on Beyond Meat today. It's been pretty nice. So that's my number one stock here. We are waiting for Tesla to come back down. Look at this average we just took there. I told you we were waiting for 705 to come. It does come. We take an average. Now our average price, 703.30. Let's see if we can't take some out here. 702 bottoms right now. So this is a nice little trade. We have more shares, obviously, than we had before. Let's see if Tesla can't work its way. And bang! There it is. Tesla. What a trade. We're hoping. She gave me this camera to go crazy with. I don't know how this is going to look, but now it's moving up. Oh, look at this, guys. It's already off. There's the camera. Hey, there's the look. What a fail that was. There we go. That's the camera. But Tesla, guys, big winner. It's slap shot central. What do you guys want? These are monster winners all over the place now, guys. Big time Beyond Meat, big time cash. We go short again up here, 113. Let's see what happens. We are just crushing it once again today, guys. I hope you like this. Let's go. Get this camera out of my face, Rob. This thing epically failed. Let's go.
Yeah, that was an interesting camera look there, certainly. Watch out for that MDGS. Big time battle being formed. Buyer at 66. Seller at 70. If we break to the upside through 70, I'll probably take a few more shares. If it breaks down below that 65, maybe I'll take a few off, but still working this potential breakout to the long side. So I'll take a few shares off here as it does lose to the long trade, but I like this one in front of 250 for another load up in front of VWAP. But it's also 10 o'clock, guys, and that means we need to get to Brendan for happening now.
Oh.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets after the first 30 minutes heading towards the weekend. It's Friday. Still in positive territory, but only just here for the S&P 500. We've obviously come off the highs of the morning, but still hanging on to positive territory. The Dow, same story, about 0.10%, still in positive territory. The NASDAQ has gone red, so we've seen some of the tech stocks come back to the downside. Apple, however, as we mentioned, still remaining very relatively strong at this point. The Russell small caps having a nice day, about 0.5%. TSX here in Toronto, about 0.4% to the upside. A lot of the energy names gapped higher this morning, but are starting to come back to the downside. The BOVESPA down in Brazil, now 3% in negative territory. When we mentioned it at 9 o'clock, was only about 1.2%. Let's have a look at some energy stocks. Once again today, this one, Baytex Energy, among the volume leaders if you're looking at stocks traded in Toronto. BTE, 2.6%. Like I was saying, we had a lot of the energy shares gapping to the upside and then kind of fading that gap. Watch out for 38 cents where we ended the day yesterday for Baytex. If you're watching that one, this one, Enbridge, still looking quite nice. 41, a little bit of resistance off the bat. We came into 40 and a half. Looks like that's now holding as support for ENB. One more, Suncor, not really doing anything today, kind of gapped up and held that gap. But look at the print here we had, guys, on Suncor today. If you compare that back throughout the week, monster print for SU in Toronto today. About flat right across the board so far for Friday. Back to you.
Yeah, look at this, guys. We just got this little bottom wick here on Tesla. And I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. This has been a rain-in kind of money type of day right now for us. Huge day. Just great trading opportunities all about. And look at this. We go short 702. We laugh at it when it goes to 698. That would have been a $4 winner. But look what happens. We get the last laugh as we take it more short at 705.50. We cash out 702 even there. Then we get 750 cents. And now we we are back short this name, guys. I mean, we still have these shares. We have a third left on. It keeps ticking down to 702. I think I'll take these off and celebrate, hopefully, a $3 or $4 winner. My out's going to be right around here, though, 706. I'm not going to let this Tesla day turn into a losing day here. It's been a fantastic one. If I get out up here, it'll be a ho-hum type of thing, but 706 will be my out. I'm looking to get some more, though. You know what? Maybe this market crashes today. Let's hold on to the rest here. We'll wait for a 706 out. If I'm lucky enough to get now below 700, we will take that. But so far, everything working out for us. What a monstrous day. Don't know how you're doing over there, Neil, but it's been great.
Yeah, we're 748 so far today. I was talking to you guys about MDGS, of course, and look, I told you there was a battle being waged between 66 and 70, and that's why I took some shares off flat exactly for this pullback. So when the buyer lost, we were able to catch some in the 50s, and then when it snapped through that 70 mark, you catch a quick 15 penny winner while maintaining a core position long. So if it holds VWAP in 245 to 250, we're still in our long. However, you've got to play that price action to your advantage, especially if you have direct market access, so I can look at the level too. And if you didn't, well, I just told you anyway. So there's an opportunity in how you can take advantage of looking at a live quote to be able to make some trades very, very actively. MDGS to the long side at 56. It's up at 70. If it breaks that, next stop is that 90 mark, which I really wish I was able to short this morning. If you were early in the chat, I was definitely regretting that one. But I want to get you guys back to that THMO that some of you have been asking about. Of course, I mentioned the short in front of VWAP on this one. It's having some trouble rolling over past 920. A bit of buying action there. I'm short here at 930. If we flush through this price, I think we have at least 30 to 50 cents worth of upside. And of course, I mean downside as it is falling back in. Still up 14% on the day, however. So I'm long in MDGS, still long Smile Direct Club. That's back in the money for us. Whiting in front of 125, not going anywhere. And then a great short in THMO.
Yeah, I mean, what a great day. I got to look over there at THMO as well. We're looking at still on this Tesla trade, waiting for it to do something here to the downside. I'm trying to find some more trades for you guys here as we go.
I got one for you. Look, we teed up that MDGS as well, guys. A VWAP retracement I talked about 290 2 seconds ago. We just got some out at 81. It just got to 90. 310 is the actual high. So on a 90 break, I'm expecting a bit of a run to 310. If it fails here, you can trail this one back to that 270 area where you saw that buyer and seller sort of battling out here. So I'm not going to make anything less than 15 pennies or so on these last shares, with the upside of running the last 20% up to that $3 mark. So nice trade on MDGS. It's 100% upside. It was a good short. Now it's just as good of a long. Brendan, what do you got?
Another name we've looked at quite frequently, guys. APT, Alpha Pro Tech here, up 3.5% on the day. You can see about mid-afternoon yesterday, we had a huge move to the upside, back to 14.5. Had this line here from weeks and weeks ago. We were trading at around 14.5. Looks like that's holding as support here, guys. We just broke the top on decent volume. They announced a new federal contract with the U.S. government, guys.
Okay, U.S. government's always a nice person to be dealing with, especially when they're handing out the cash. Okay, WWE here. I did like that call above. Not M. Oh, we have over, guys, by the way, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to that 10,000. That'd be nice if you guys could help us get to that. That'd be perfect. Okay, WWE right now. This high made early on. This was basically right at the open, 930. We are up. We just got out of our Tesla there for flat on that last third, so that's okay. We already cashed out huge. Check the bottom there, 46.03 right now. We're a little far away, but I just want to bring this to people's attention. Love trading stocks that are up 17% on the day and getting some momentum to the top side. 46.03 here on WWE. If we can break above that 46 number, let's hit this guy long. But right now, I don't like anything to average in on WWE. Volume's pretty good, though, 1.7 million shares. Maybe 44.50 is not a horrible average in, but we're still a ways away from that one. 44.50 down here, not until I'm interested in this stock.
I'm going to bring you guys back to Smile Direct. I mean, it's been a boring trade, but oddly enough, this level here at 545, which we talked about and reloaded in front of, has been basically perfect. And then our out before in front of 560 for a range-bound trade has been basically dead on. So I think we're going to go with this stop until it breaks. And it's not the greatest amount of volume, but I think you can take advantage of it for the time being, longing 46 to 48. And I still think there's an opportunity for you to retest that high where we're getting shares out in the mid-60s. So we're going to hang on to Smile Direct. I got no problem with it. THMO continues to work for us. I want to get to Roku. I know some people are asking about this one in the pre-market. there was a break downside. Now it's very, very range bound. So if the market wants to roll over, 123 is your support. You probably have to give it at least 20 to 40 cents if it tries to make a run. And then at the bottom here, you're looking for a 122 even break. Roku now just turning negative on the day, with the market still actually positive over here in the ES, and that's the S&P 500 futures. We're still a ways away from Arun's level. I know you guys love to talk to him. We need to break past this 27.85 mark. Maybe then we'll get a flush and make some of these shorts work out a little better.
Okay, guys, we're short XOM right now. A lot of shares here at 44.26. So we've been taking some out here. Our best out is 20 and 19s. Obviously, we're going to wait to see if this one can't break lower here. Maybe 44 evens or so down on XOM. Still a ways to go. We did top off here yesterday. What is this exact price down here? Yeah, it's basically 43.98 or so was that high yesterday. So in the afternoon here, obviously we cracked down below it and then closed 43.50. So let's hold this. Here we go. The wins, guys. Just keep on coming. Sorry to keep hitting that floss. We need to do some a little bit better ones. But here we go. I told you it's a lot of shares. And now we're breaking down below 44.17. That's a quick 9-cent winner. A little bit of scalping action happening right now on XOM. And yeah, the trades just keep coming. The fun keeps happening on the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. 44.16, now 10 pennies, now 15 pennies. XOM for the win again, guys. We are just hammering these stocks today. And look, if you were joining us yesterday, I've been positive every single day this week, and every single day we keep making more and more money. So there you go, guys. I don't know if we're getting better hosting this show or what, but the winners are coming. It's a free show. This doesn't get it. Look at XOM. Here we go, guys. The crash continues. Bang! Hit the cowbells. Swish, swish. Look at these trades, guys. Short, right here. Look, $44 we're now approaching. I just gave you this level 2 seconds ago. I said, where can we go to? 43.98. And bang, you hold the trade for that. And now it's catapult city time. Time to win on all these trades, guys.
If you wonder what's happening over in oil, guys, we just broke through VWAP 1725 on the trace. We're back at the mid end of the range in the pre-market on oil futures, and Whiting is right at that 125 mark. For those of you that were longing it for hoping for a bounce, this is your kill point. I'm out of here at 125, but if we can base out here in front of 17 even on oil, I'm looking at Oxy and XOM for pullbacks, but that's what's driving this move. Massive rejection at that $18 level that we were talking about earlier, but a good time, I think, maybe to talk about some upgrades and downgrades. I see some interesting names on that board, Brennan.
All right, yeah, let's jump into upgrades and downgrades for today. A couple of interesting movers to mention here so far today. Haven't talked about this one, but eBay having a nice day so far, up. It's actually more than that, about 2% now on the day. Expedia Group 2 days in a row to the upside for EXPE. RBS down here, just had a look at that one. Not a huge move, but in negative territory, even with a couple of upgrades. Hershey Illumina Marathon and AT&T Marathon, we talked about a little bit before the open there. In positive territory because of oil, but catching a downgrade today. Let's have a look at eBay here. Nice look here, gapping higher this morning. We held below 39, which is right here. A little bit of a pullback, holding higher versus yesterday's close around 38.20. Watch 39 on eBay. Lots of relative strength coming into that name today. Here's Marathon. Yeah, big gap to the upside. This is $5 right here. So if we can hold $5, no reason this can't go higher. Otherwise, 480, and then the low from yesterday was 464, I believe, or 465 on MR. Oh, let's look at some upgrades and downgrades. Back over to you guys.
Thank you, Brendan. Having a quick look at MDGS again. I did talk about this name a bit earlier. We did like this pullback into that 50 range, see if it can hold VWAP again. There was a battle at that 66 to 70. It's back into that target. I got 56 to the long side, so we're kind of making money on this trade no matter what. So we can reload around these 50s, maybe take it out at 55 if it happens. But if we can make a retest of that 290 mark, remember 310 is that pre-market high that you're looking to run up to. I think at that point it could be a massive jump to the upside, guys. So could be a big one on MDGS. We still have a little bit to the long side and looking to reload. Of course, THMO still working for us. We're short that one at 932. It's looking like it wants to take a run at 9 even.
Yeah, good trade there on these little guys, but we're trading the big caps over on this side, and wow, thanks to everybody on the chat there. Yeah, you got to have flexibility in reverse. Look, this is the thing. We go long up here, 44.59, but look where we get out. 54s, we take some profits at 64, then we get out at 40. 44.45. So these are like 15, 20 penny losers at most. And look at the win that we have on the short side. 44.26. Like, you can hold for pennies, guys, but you know, if you want to make the real money on some of these XOM stocks, I mean, I take out a little bit because we were huge on the position, but you do have movement, especially when Neil's talking about oil there. Oil retracing all the way back down to $17. So some of our outs here, and just so I'm, you know, just education, guys, again here, lose 15, 20 pennies. You don't worry about it. You reload the short, then you reload the short again, and you got to be able to switch your positions, and that's the advantage that we have. I've already had 82 fills today. So the point is, you lose 10, 15 pennies here, and then look where we're cashing now, guys. This is 40 or so on the downside. So some nice little winners here. Cowbells all around. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We've got the big time moves here. I've pretty much crushed everything today. I have no losers on today, guys. So 82 fills, no losers. What's up, B-Wick?
Yeah, guys, big thanks. First off, 1,008 all-time high as far as individual viewers on the day. So thank you for that. I wanted to mention Peloton here, guys, going again today. Just broke 32 on huge volume. So Peloton had a huge volume spike. I saw one of my neighbors with one of these boxes sitting outside of their door the other day. So they're selling the bikes, guys. Let's go over to Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome everyone who just joined our live trading show. If you're passionate about trading, if you want to learn or improve your trades, you're at the right place in the right time. Also guys, you usually ask how traders are so energetic. So that's because they drink from Trader TV mug and even water tastes like hardest coffee. So guys, in order for us to provide merch for you, we need to receive 10,000 subscribers. Please, we are very close. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. A lot of cool stuff is yet to come. You don't want to miss that. And of course, hit more thumbs ups if you like what we do. Back to traders.
All right. Look at this XOM, guys. 43.74. We just took some out there. 74s. We are short right now. Well, you know what? Let's give you guys another look here. Let's update our positions. Like I said, we've won on absolutely everything. $3 on Beyond Meat, $5 on Tesla. Here's our current board. I hit start though. Let me see if it loads up here. Bang, there it is. Okay, here it comes up. This is the position board. Short XOM right now, 55 cents in the money, and we still have that SDC. It's now 10 cents out, so we'll have to wait on that one. We took about 12 or 14 cents off that initial out. I'll review that chart in a bit, but only 2 positions, and guess what? Chicken dinners today, guys. Great trading. Let's go.
Yeah, just having a quick look. You guys are asking about a whiting, and I think it's probably a good thing that you are. Interesting levels at 112 and also at 1 even. That's where the news came out. THMO could be a reversal, but I'm going to take off. So we get the first half for a win, and then we take out the rest there. It's going to basically be a fail. Anytime you stare profit in the face and you only take half trying to get the bigger move, I can consider it being greedy a little bit, but I do think you are looking at a downtrend. You're getting a fallback in oil. So right now, whiting looks like it's trying to make a run at that bottom. Like I said, if you were long, you should have been out at $1.25 like I was. I still have MDGS, and I kind of mentioned to you guys what I liked for this one as a target. We're testing again through that 290 mark. This time, because we've turned down and not gotten to 310 that high, I'm going to slide my stop to the upside here. So I'm going to change plans. Before I was giving it to break even. Now that we've tested the high again, I don't want to have this one turn into too little of a profit. We still have 56 long. We'll try to lock it in here above 275. So sliding my stop upside to lock in about 20 pennies, and then see if we can't get that run to 310. That's been our target all along on this long trade.
Okay, let's check out some Pfizer maybe here, guys. Pfizer.ny. Yeah, join us every day on the show as we continue to bring this to you for free. So yeah, that's why we need those likes. Pfizer, yeah, not really moving around. I did want to check it out. 37 was a key level the other day. So right now, Pfizer, pretty sleepy. We destroyed JPM yesterday. If any of you guys were watching yesterday, I know you were, of course, but JP Morgan, boo, down to $89 again right now. JP Morgan, we missed this rundown. As the market gives back here, the banks tend to be a lot weaker. Okay, WWE, what a trade happening right now on WWE. We take out the top side here. We have hundreds of shares once again on WWE. A quick little 50 cent, 60 cent winner, 70 cents. Let's see if we can't catch more on WWE. We just took some out for a nice little smooth 50 cents, taking 46 off the top there. Great little look, Brandon. And once again, guys, bang it out. WWE, we gave this trade to you. Hopefully you guys had that. A smooth 50 cents there. This is how we trade. What up, Brandon?
One we were looking at yesterday, guys. Target off to the races here again. Not as much volume as yesterday, obviously, but just broke 106. Looks like it's trying to hold 106 here. 2.25% for Target after a nice day yesterday.
Massive seller here on that MDGS, guys. So 92. You can look on my level 2 and see this offer. We bust through here. This is the move we're looking for. However, if it's going to hold, I'm going to take this one out and look for another re-entry point. I think when you can lock in over a 10% move, it'll be about 15. We'll definitely go ahead and see if we can't do that. So MDGS, the story is going to be done. It does hold the lower end of the range, and that's that 290 mark that we're trying to short earlier in the pre-market when we didn't have the locate, but that's fine. You find a long if you can't go short. We do that one on a VWAP retracement. It turned out very, very well for us. I hope you guys followed along. People keep asking and whiting, where is the short squeeze? It doesn't have to squeeze, guys. I mean, just because there's a lot of short interest, we mentioned getting out at $1.25. Oil was falling to the downside there. You had the entire space moving down. I don't know why you would be holding that. Of course, they're talking about bankruptcy. The initial flush came to $1. I don't see any reason why you're holding it through the support level of yesterday at 125 where the breakout was. So it doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity to go long at any point in the day, but allow some buyers to step in first, guys. You got to take it off at 125 there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some WWE plays here to see where we get out if this does fall back down. You always got to be able to look both ways on your trades, right? Some of these trades can actually lose, believe it or not. But here we go, guys. Nice little out. We're still holding half of this WWE trade. Just a few ticks out here. Remember, guys, we're not trading retail here. We trade direct market access with day trade the world. So, we get paid every time. Not every time. Like my in, I would have had to limit in on that and paid to get in on those. But all of these outs, I'm adding liquidity, so making those rebates back in on that name. But XOM now, guys, I don't think this actually happened, 43.44. If it did, wow, I missed it. But now we're heading back to the top side. I have literally 5%, I think, left of this position, so nothing on XOM, but 44.30 is, of course, where we're short, and we'll look to revisit that one. I'll probably just get out of this last 5% or so if it does break above 44.10, which may happen soon, and then we'll just lock in a small little 15 penny winner on XOM. But look at this, keeps cashing in all the way down. My best out, 43.72. Let's see if we can't get back down there as this market in oil keeps coming down, even though the equity market seems to be bouncing back to 2800.
Yeah, market bouncing back to that 2800 mark, and bouncing back is that INO as well. We did get bottom wick down here at 12. Again, that was the target we were looking at. I do like this one potentially for breakthrough this 1245. You're seeing it hold multiple times here, so let's alert to that level. I'm going to put a stop, so when 1245 breaks, we'll go long. Of course, we were shorting it through that price before. I think much like MDGS, it's going to give you an opportunity for a long break, whether it's going to be a 20 to 30 cent move or a little bit bigger than that. I think you want to hold out at least some shares for that, so we're going to go with a stop at 1245. I also got rid of that Smile Direct, even though it looks like it might hold that level. It's just been so sleepy. Missed all the action on that one the last few weeks, and then the last couple of days, it's very, very tired trading, not doing a heck of a lot. I'm going to jump into this INO in just a little bit here, but also going to look at some of the airlines as well, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just chilling out here, guys. My day is pretty huge already, so we're going to just chill out here, wait for some good trades to come through, including Tesla. So I'm going to look to see Tesla here up to 714 in change. Just looking to see if we can break out of this high here, 716.50. Trying to play some breakouts now in this market, guys. The market is obviously very strong today. We tried to break down, and this is what I mean. We tried to break down here, doesn't. A bunch of times, and then we head back upside. We need to break 2,800 though. If we can break 2,800, then it'll be off to the races. For now, we calm down and we wait to see what happens in this marketplace. Tesla 714. It's actually getting quite close up to 716 right now. Let's throw it to Brendan for small cap recap, and maybe Tesla will break.
All right, guys, time for small cap. We'll have a look at a couple of different names here this morning. The first one I want to mention, Whiting had that news right as we basically came on this morning around 9 o'clock. Big flush to the downside. So pretty easy entry on Whiting. Although I want to make a pretty good point here. You're not chasing this thing to the downside on news like that. You're not being aggressive, crossing into the market, removing shares from the market. Basically, when I saw this break to the downside, I immediately just just started throwing orders out in the book higher than where it was trading and let the market come back to me, and that way you end up with a better average price. So a nice look on Whiting. I already had this 160 and then 175 above that just from yesterday afternoon was resistance. 175 and then 160 was a bit of a pivot as well. So I was already looking for a move back up into 160 to put my short on. Did get executed there around 156. Added some shares looking for a further move higher, but got the nice flush off of the open. So, I mean, a great trade to the downside eventually. Did have to be a little bit patient with it. WLL giving you a nice short. Still looking like it might want to continue to the downside. The other one here, INO. Yeah, nice level, 1260 from yesterday was kind of a pivot throughout the afternoon above that 1290. So, you know, a little bit further of a spread between the support and resistance there. So you got to size yourself accordingly, but was pulling back after this flush in the pre-market up towards that 1260. Had to be patient with that off of the open. It did wick through that level, came right back down though immediately, and then gave you a move down to 12 even. So INO, WLL, great shorts this morning, guys. Back over to you.
Speaking of that short in WLL, Brendan, it looks like it's rolling over through that 112 again. If it can break that. After that news came out, that was the bottom after the initial flush. It was right there at 112. I think if it takes that one out, it looks like it's trying to head towards one even. I'll start a short at that price. I'll actually try to work something on a pullback to 125 as well. I talked about the reasons why the squeeze might not matter as much when you get a bit of a downtrend like this happening. So hopefully you did take that long off if you guys, anybody still had it. Otherwise, you're in a bit of trouble. 112 is a breakdown. 125 is a place you can try to maybe short again. A VWAP as well is going to be another tester on that name. I want to get to Apple, guys, and Kevin, fantastic look here. Let everyone know what you have there on Apple. It did actually just break through 280. I was going to have a quick look to see if we get any retrace to 278.50. We're about to roll over in the futures, and I'll give you one other name as we might do that, and that's going to be Roku. Roku broke off of that bottom that we were talking about earlier, and that was right here at that 123 mark. It's now failing through its opening range and about to come back down through that 124. So as I see that, I'm going to jump in here, and if the futures roll over, I think Roku has a shot to get back down into that bottom end range. It is still flat on the session. Overall, the market still has to decide where it's going as it's flat as well. But if it's to the south side, I think we can get back down to those prices on Roku as my chart just died there. But that would be somewhere in the 124 range short, looking to work it back down to 123 using 124.60 as your stop area.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going to continue to look at all these trades for you guys as we go. Right now, I did average in a little bit to this WWE down here, 45.29. It's ripped up here. We're going to use 45 or so as our out. So we'll wait to see what WWE wants to do. But our average price right now is still 45.90. So we're still up here. So we need WWE to get going back to the top side if that's going to be a profitable trade. We've averaged in a little bit here. I just took some Tesla trades. I took it through this little break of 714. Then we took some 711s there. So we're going to wait to see what that does do and come through. If it breaks through the 709 area, we'll get out of Tesla, as obviously the market here not making that march to 2800. So we will fall down on this Tesla trade if it doesn't go. But 709, we'll see here. Would love for these futures to get going back to the top side and give us a little bit of a winner here. But we're not going to hold everything that we've lost or made here on Tesla. Let's wait to see on the top side again. 711, we're averaged in our average price right now, 712, so 712.50. Here it comes. We'll probably get out of this now as it's going to break down below 709, but a little bit of a resistance there. Up to 712 is our price. Maybe got to average out of this one a little bit, but we'll wait to see.
I just danced it off there, and it's going to be, I talked about that INO. There was that little range break. We held it 1, 2, 3, 4 times at 12.45. That was where we told to go long. 47 was our price. Took some off here immediately for a quick little scalp, and this is going to be the reason. Opening end range 1262. That's where it turns around here. So when it slides to the upside, you want to make sure you take some profit. It gives you a chance to reload if you want to. Personally, I would consider reloading in between VWAP and that 45 in case it squeezes some people out here. Certainly if it goes below VWAP, it looks like that's still a short trend. That's why you got to take some profit on the way up in anticipation of that move. Whiting is testing that 112 mark, but a big buyer at 110. So I'm not going to slide in selling 111s when I see a big buyer at 110. We did get into that Roku short. If the market can roll over, I think I like that one. But our stop is at 124.60. I'd like to get more shares above 124 in that.
And guys, look at XOM. I mean, bang, we'll have to take some of this off right now. 43.55. Hello, that's a good one, guys. We just had that one right here to the downside. XOM, what a win. 70 clean cents on that one, and we're basically flat now. Not much to report on this one. I still do have Smile Direct. It's really not doing anything. We did get some out down here. I'm still holding like half this position. I don't know. We're going to wait on this. It doesn't really matter. We're pretty good on everything else here today, so we'll wait to see what Smile Direct does to the bottom. If it does break maybe this 530-ish area. I don't know. What's the bottom here? 535 maybe. We'll hold out to this one, but I guess it didn't go. We did have this trade huge in the morning. That's why we're not nervous about it. Bang here, in there, out on the top. Now we've just sort of been getting out. Look, it's not going to be a profitable trade if it comes all the way back down here to 535, but sometimes you actually got to, man up and hold some of these trades. And unfortunately for this one, doesn't look like that's going to be a working trade for us. Smile Direct Club. Not smiling, and I'm actually going to do the crying instead of the smiling here. But we'll wait. We're long at 552. I mean, it's 8 pennies against me. Ho-hum on that one. We're going to wait to see what it can do. Tesla coming back to the upside here. We're now in the money on Tesla, so we'll wait to see here. Nice little bottom pick down there, 711, like we talked about. Let's see if it can't get back up here. 713, 714 or so. We'll see if we can't get out and then enjoy, hopefully, the rest of the ride up. But we'll wait to see on Tesla right now, bouncing around. We'll have to see about this market. I would love a 2800 peg. Don't know if we're going to get that though, guys.
Yeah, and Whiting there, another sort of layer to the downside. But again, you had to catch this one on the way back up after having missed that little flush through that 110 mark. I kind of mentioned why I didn't punch 112 when it was going. Probably a mistake. We gave that level. We should have stuck to it. We let 110 break, and now I end up with a short at 108. So it's not the greatest price because I was a little bit too risk averse, but it's still a nice move to the downside. If we can crush that 105, we did mention one even as a target. So again, if you're holding long on this one, I don't know what to say about that. We've been talking about this slide the entire way. Brendan, what do you got?
Another really strong one here, guys. Papa John's, nice move, almost 10% at one point there. Maybe it did actually get up to above 10% there. Stifle raising their price target for pizza today, guys. PZZA.
Oh, Stifle, Nicholas there. Yeah, nice little upgrade there. Domino's crushing it right now, that's for sure. I see them all over the place. And I actually went into a Domino's and asked the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, we're crushing it. So if you want some DPZ, there's a channel check for you back on board here. Okay, you guys want the position board up? Why not? I have 4 of them on right now. They're not great, but they're not overly heavy. I told you guys that we would be lighting it up off that huge open. Here we go. Smile Direct, we talked about that one. That's still a long. That's 9 cents out. Our Tesla's $2 out right now. That's bouncing around. I gave you that out, 709. If it breaks, we'll flash out of that one and call that a loser. 40 cents out on our WWE call. We're waiting for that one as well. And XOM still a 70 penny winner. 3 longs, 1 short. That's what happens. The money's already been made today. We're just hoping to top it off with some of these. And thank you guys. We're now over 1,000 for a while here.
There we go.
On the watch time there. So you're welcome for that
subs
one, guys.
To the moon, guys. Subs
to the moon. Let's go, guys. Get those subs going as well. And we'll see what we can do about getting you guys some of that merch. Here comes WWE back to the upside here. I'll probably pair some of this off if I can. It's been a nice little move back to the upside. There it is, taking some off of this average in. Our average price now, still right here, $45.90. So we need to get this one going, but we just did take some off this nice move back. I don't want to turn these winners into losers, and here goes WWE now. Let's see if we can't retake $46.
Yeah, that's the thing there. And speaking of that, I'm going to move my stop. I took off about 75% of that Whiting short that we just had, and I'm going to give it to that 110. I don't want to, hang on to too much of a loser, too much of a winner into a loser situation, knowing that one even was going to be a bit of a bottom. And I got some shares out at 3 and 4. Didn't quite get to one even, but it's close enough. INO is still going to the upside here, guys. So you can see, since that breakout at 45 that we were talking about, it's never really gone against us. It's just basically slowly trending up. I want to take some shares out if it gets into the 60s. We're long here at 47. If it can extend to 1275, that's fantastic as well. But we don't want to get too greedy with INO. It was an even better short, and initially I did love the short. This is just a nice little breakout long. Some of these short sellers probably getting out here to our advantage, obviously.
yeah, I'm just tweeting this out, guys. Follow us on Twitter. I've got a decent amount of followers here, so join us. I'm going to tweet this out right now. We do have Daniel Shea coming up very, very soon. Well, it's 11:50, so we got another hour on that one, but great little insight there on everything, gold, equity markets, and whatnot. Shout out to Daniel Shea coming through.
She knows a bit about options as well, and you guys are always asking about that.
Guys,
so if you have any questions, throw it on there.
Yeah, WWE. Yeah, throw your questions on there. If Brendan can, he'll get to them. But here goes WWE. What a reload. Guys, we're even higher now than we were the rest of our time here. Oh, I said I wouldn't hit these anymore, but we are on fire, El Fuego. Blow that up right now, guys. Tesla back to the top side. Should have just took some out there. We're quite nice today, to say the least here. WWE now going, guys. Wow, here's the bangers, guys. Knock on wood. Hopefully this doesn't turn around. But this show, as we get more viewers, maybe it's because all these winners, guys, we're perfect today. What a great day today for us as WWE. Look at this reload. Can't wait to tweet this out. What up, Miss V?
Hey guys, hopefully your trading day is going great. Adam and Kevin doing a great job on the chat helping you with the questions, but I want to be helpful also. That's why I pick up one question from the chat and ask it directly to traders. Well, Chris Sam is asking, I would like to know Niels and Sean profitable percentage or on a normal week, because Chris is new to our channel and noticed that you guys killed in the last 3 days, killed it. So is it just an exceptional week, Neil, Sean?
Not for me, no. I think this is what we do, guys. I mean, like I told you, I've been positive every single day this week, and we continue to run the gauntlet right now, including long INO right here at 1264. We took some out there, not very good, 67. We'll wait to see here what INO can do to the top side. But yeah, look, we stick to our rules. We're here to help you guys, and we are just crushing it. I don't know, Neil, how are you doing today? I'm up more than I was at the beginning of the show, obviously, so let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm obviously doing my best right now. So one of the best ways that you can be consistent in how you can have positive days every single day is to, like we kind of mentioned here, is have your stops, be disciplined, take off your losers for relatively small, try to make sure you have a risk structure that works for you. That way, for me, I'll trade, say, anywhere from 6 to 12 symbols in a given day, and my expectation for my style of trade is not to be positive on 10 out of 10 or 12 out of 12 or 6 out of 6. It's to be positive on 70% of them or 80% of them, and then understand that you're controlling your losses on the rest. That way, it's a lot easier to have 70 or 80% types of winning days. Now, if you're the type of trader that's sitting there and swing trading, let's say, where it's 1 or 2 trades a day, maybe you're a futures trader or not, you'll probably have a different risk profile. So if you're trading a lot of different names for these types of styles, you are sort of targeting being positive a little bit more consistently, but that doesn't mean it's the only way to go here, guys. But I'm going to jump back into this INO because I just as I was talking away there, missed the opportunity. It got to that close to that 1275 high. That was 1270. I got 47 to the long side. I did have an opportunity to take it out up there. Going to see if we can't get our target out in front of that one. But it's been a fantastic trade, both short and long in INO.
Yeah, right now I gotta see what's going on INO, see what we're doing on that one. Here goes Tesla, guys. Look, I'm tweeting this out. I don't even know why when I have a $5 winner on right now on Tesla. But here we go, guys. 714. We did take some out here. Tesla now pushing to the highs. We're long here, 711.11 right now. So this is a $4 winner on Tesla as we are now banging it out, guys. There it is. I mean, we're trading everything. Smile Direct, check. WLL, check. INO, check. Everything to the upside now. WWE, check. XOM, here we go. XOM down to the low. I mean, what is going on here? We just continue. Look at INO, guys. We're long at 1264 right now. This is a smooth bang out 83. The money just keeps on raining in. Fireworks Central, INO for the win. I'm trading small caps, large caps, oil names, ready for Brendan. What up, Brendan?
Yet another one to have a look at, guys, on the vaccine front. AKER, Acres Bioscience, teaming up with Premas Biotech to work on a COVID-19 vaccine. So just about to break day highs here, guys, on AKER, up about 15%.
All right, chicken dinners, guys.
But there goes the WL. We gave you both the bottom out at 110 and the pivot point forth, that 112 mark as well. So I reversed now into the long. Once it projected up, we told you to the target bottom. We now reverse into a bit of a long trade here at 111 when it gets taken up. This is where you can try to run it into that 125 mark. Being active on whiting is the way to go when you have 48 million shares of volume. Certainly you want to at least open yourself up to some scalping, and that just means shorter duration trade. But again, one even bonds were out of the shorts, and then we turn around at that 110 mark that we gave you. So we like this one to the long side. Roku reversal at that 124.65. That's working the money for us. I'll get to that one in a second. Right now, whiting back to the upside. First long of the day. Oh, sorry, second long of the day. Finally on this one.
Yeah, okay. WWE still going upside here as well, and we bang it off. Darn it! Tesla now, we did get out at that top. We're tired of this banging up here, but now we're out, in, out, and now we bang to the upside here. We've destroyed Tesla, but missed it on that one. Check out our I&O, by the way, guys. You know what? Look, I'm trading everything. Here we go. Let's see if we break through 13 here. We are still long at 1264 some here. Out again. We're banging up to 13 now. We'll see about taking a little bit out right now at 12, at $13. We've been hitting everything today. I hope you guys are following us. I just dropped off our Trader TV Twitters there. Follow me, guys. I've tweeted a bunch of this out. Can't wait to get this I&O chart out. You guys can take a look at what we're doing here, noticing breaking through tops and whatnot. I'll probably get a little bit more out here as it looks like we've resisted through 13. But hey, guys, this is what happens if you follow us. Bang, some nice, huge trades. I have this many losers on today, so good one today, guys. Big time winning. What was that? I've never seen that one before.
That just rained it down here, guys. Whiting off that turn. It's a one even bottom. It's a 110 turn, 110 to 112, whichever one of those levels you liked. We just grabbed this one through back to that 125 mark. And remember yesterday, made all that money. It was 120 long, 125, big levels. On the way down, it was a support level. You had to be paying attention to that. This is what it's all about. You just saw me layering out here very, very actively. So nice win. Long at 111 on whiting, getting some out there at 122 at the very top, in front of that 125 mark. So structure, have the levels. We talked about these ones in the pre-market. We talked about them yesterday. All the way down, we were mentioning them. All the way back up, we kept reminding you guys. So it's all about having a plan. And I know a man who always has both information and a plan himself. Brendan, what do you got?
A little online education company to mention here, guys. TEDU. I'll move that over so you can see it. 29.5% to the upside. They updated their full year guidance and current quarter guidance as well, higher than expected. So TEDU, obviously a lot of people doing education online these days, guys.
All right, yeah, a lot of education online. Actually, we've noticed that stock before. That's been a good one. Yeah, we just did take out some I&O up here, 94s. So yeah, that's a 30-cent winner there on this $12 name. We'll wait to see the rest of it. WWE now breaks back above 46. We did get some out here at this key spot for like a 30-cent winner or so, but we are now long here. WWE still 45.50 long right now. WWE making some moves to the top side here. We just did tweet that out. And once again, guys, thank you for keeping us above 1,000 right now. It's been huge. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep this party rolling. The winners are here. Every single trade I have right now, nicely done here. We'll drop this one down back to 2,800. Look at the futures, guys. 2,800. Nice little move all the way back here. So yeah, some of these longs are getting accelerated. I just wish I never dumped out that Tesla. The Tesla trade makes me do this, although it's pretty much my #1 stock today, Tesla.
If whiting goes through 125, we're hanging on to this 111 here. We talked about that bottom. I mean, come on, guys. One even. You see that news come out off of in the pre-market that we gave to you live here. One evens was the bottom end there. It was an easy place to see if it gets defended. You wanted to reverse, so we're out of our shorts at that price. We reverse to the long when it takes out the next level up, which of course was that 110. So 111 long. If it can't take 125, we'll lock in profit through 120. But if that goes and then we test VWAP, yeah, we should probably at least get a shot at 135 to 140. So I'm going to have a break even and see if we can't get a home run on this one. It was a fantastic trade, both directions, all morning long whiting. My #2 name, because I&O obviously was so good. But it is time now.
OPC
no,
is
not
down.
yet. Sorry. Time for Valeria, I think we have.
Yep.
Hey guys, what a great day. We almost reached 1,000 of subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now. Also, we hit a record number of viewers, more than 1,000. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. And I promise we'll be getting better each day. So guys, subscribe for our channel if you haven't yet, and hit the thumbs up. The whole day ahead, and we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff. For example, now back to Brandon for Sector Watch.
All right, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see how things are shaping up heading towards 11 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone. We are in positive territory, 0.34%, so a little bit better off when last we spoke. Industrial stocks, I want to mention, kind of offsetting this move somewhat. Most of the negativity coming here, there's Boeing, 4% to the downside so far today. We told you if you joined us at 9 o'clock this morning, they're planning on cutting 737 Dreamliner production in half, and we're talking about some further job cuts going to be announced next week when they report earnings. There's Love as well, Southwest down 2.8%, ALK the other one, there's Dow and UAL. So airlines are under pressure right across the board so far. Industrials are in negative territory. Semiconductors down here are also in negative territory. Intel obviously leading the way there, 3% to the downside. MU as well, Micron 1.7% to the downside. Everything else though pretty much in the tech group in positive territory. So overall this one kind of mixed so far today. Energy stocks have been leading the market higher over the past couple of days. A couple of negative names here today, kind of offsetting the rest that are in positive territory. FTI 4.5%, COG, MRO, and BKR all nicely higher on the day, but HP there 3.5%, PXD 3.5% to the downside. So energy stocks kind of muted so far. Consumer discretionary stocks, these ones down here, durable goods orders nicely higher. As far as the retail group goes, kind of mixed. We did have some earnings in this group. There's Target we were talking about yesterday, very strong. TSCO, KMX, and Lowe's 2.6% or higher to the upside. So offsetting these as well, the entire services group back in the red. This is where you'll find the hotels, the cruise lines as well. CCL there 1.6% to the downside. Banks are doing quite nicely today, back in positive territory. So bit of a mixed story, guys, right across the board, leaving the overall market higher, but only 0.32%. Back over to you guys.
Right, here's a dollar winner right now in WWE off this bottom pick here. We did get some out 46.06 there for 60 cents, but yeah, right now we are reining in this cash as we continue to go. We have Daniel Shea from Simpler Trading coming through soon in about an hour, so that's a big time hitter as well. She's been on CNBC, Fox News, and whatnot, so that's a big one. Simpler Trading coming through, Daniel Shea. We'll wait to see here about this WWE. A 20-cent spread, I don't know. So sometimes these trades look like they're nice winners all the way up here, but we're going to have to park some more orders. WWE just been destroyed here. The day's been perfect. The biggest one I've missed out on here was this reload back on. We didn't think Tesla was going to go. We thought we'd have some problems at 2,800 and got out for about a $2 or $3 winner overall on this trade, but could have been a lot bigger. Look, I'm at the highest point today. I'm probably going to chill out a little bit. Keep your names coming in the chat, and we will continue to look for those ones. I am going to go back though. INO bouncing a little bit right now. It had a trouble at 13 once again. Probably going to get some out if it breaks back below 1284. We're almost flat on INO. And by the way, that one was a destruction as well. INO.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you talk about that move, 1250 break in the morning, giving the 12 bottom to the penny, basically, and then the turnaround at 1250 again. So short when it broke down, long when it broke above. But that 13 level that you're talking about, Sean, is worth noting yesterday, and this is why I was out in front of it, because in the afternoon, it was sort of the afternoon high. Now, it did get to 1350, so there is some juice to the upside past 13. I just think you have to watch out, because if it holds this lower level, remember, this was 840 earlier on in the week. There is a lot of room to fill in that gap to the downside. So I'd watch out for this one on a retrace. I'm actually considering shorting this one now that it's rejected, using this little range here between 75 and 90 as an entry point with 13 as a stop.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that looks like good on a short right now for sure. We just got out. I mean, there's that level breaking that we talked about it. So once again, guys, I mean, it doesn't get honestly much more perfect than this. If this is going to be your only trade today on INO, I mean, 1263 straight to the upside. We cash in. You see the profits at the bottom. Great little chart there. Yes, we are using a 1 minute chart. I think Neil is as well, most likely on most of what we're talking about. If you can, guys, go to whatever this camera is beside me. We can see here. Yeah, we're only showing you a futures chart and a 1 minute chart, but I have a couple watch lists up here, an oil chart, 1 minute, 3 minute, 12 minute daily, the futures right here, and then more stocks that we're looking at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 symbols we're looking at. I got a little Twitter open up over here. We've got our chats within the group here. I've got the YouTube chat here as well. So yeah, not only are we hosting the show, putting real capital on the line for you as well. I have 132 trades today, but we're also monitoring everything to make sure that we answer your questions the best that we can. Look at this rejection of INO though. It comes all the way down to 1267 before saying NEPA and all the way back to the top side here. So we'll wait for a 13 break, guys. We're gonna go long again if it breaks through 13. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, 13. The even dollars on INO have been so good. That's why for me, that's gonna be the stop area. You can also use 1290 if you're a little bit more risk averse. I do think that's not a horrible proposition. Someone asked about whiting. Yeah, you're gonna see I actually have 111 long, but it's just worth mentioning. I did take just about everything out of that long already when we got up to that 124 mark. So it turned around at 125, which was a level before. I did miss the reload down here. I was waiting at 110. It didn't give me 110, the perfect price, which usually we're able to get. It's now back on the way to 120, but I don't really have much on. I wish we had a bit of bigger position in case we get that VWAP that we're looking at.
Yeah, I'm just getting my orders ready here just in case. It looks like, damn it. I parked some orders up here on WWE to see if we can't get out up on the top side here. But like I said, not going to let these monster winners turn into losers. So unfortunately, we only wind up taking 40 cents on this last part. Now I'm holding a very, very small position here on WWE. And great call by Brendan bringing this to our attention. Unfortunately, I didn't max it out. I mean, on this little retrace back down here, what a great in this was. But look, we did. I mean, I just should have been smarter here with the trading because it topped out a couple times at 46.48 up here. Maybe we'll just make it a big chart if I can. Zoom in just a little bit for you. 46.48, we got out. This was a great trade initially. Once we came back to this level here, I should have parked some of these orders from this long back up here. So a little bit of a mistake. Now we'll hold the last 10% until we get a break, probably through 45. Let's see if WWE is worth a hold. I'm not going to average into this name again. We'll wait to see 45. I only like to average in once, maybe twice onto a stock. And WWE, with the spread that it has, I could get wicked out if I take a decent amount of shares. So I'm not going to do that. VWAP 45.18. Let's wait for a 45 break. But today's guys, air horn it up. 4 or 5 days in a row now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all positive. Those of you that have been watching the show know that. So there we go. What's up, Brendan?
Just watching Zoom, guys. Back to this earlier pivot that we had, a little bit of a pivot here anyways, around 175, 75, 178. Going to find a little bit of resistance coming back in here. Sellers stepping up a bit in front of that 180 level. So an interesting point. If we do hold here, no reason it doesn't take out maybe this level up here, 180 for ZM. Still really strong, 5.5%, guys.
There's INO, guys.
INO right to that 13 mark. Massive offer there. I want to let you guys know, look, we have 2 of our traders from the floor, and of course it's an empty floor behind us due to social distancing. So Adam and Kevin, you're going to see them in the chat. They have the ability to answer your questions too. They're looking at some of the same symbols that we're watching, including a few other ones, guys. So do not hesitate to throw them in there. They're going to be talking about them just as well. I want to get back to that INO because it was a massive seller there. I want to show you on level 2. Actually, not as much as it was a couple seconds ago. So about 100,000 shares on the offer. I'm taking a shot in front of it. 13, 12, and 12.50 have been just ridiculously good even dollar prices. But now 13, it's rubbing up right against it. And if it gets through that, you're probably going to see a squeeze to the upside, which might try to squeeze back down and trick some people out of the long. So if you are going into that long trade, maybe leave some powder in your keg if that's the way you want to play it.
Yeah, and the smoking of these stocks continues, guys. Look where we just got out. This was a 12.63 long. Ain't no losers right here, guys. Up to 12.98 and out. So there we go, out of this trade at 12.98 for a smooth 30x cents on this one. Bang, bang, bang. I know keeps going. We're going to be tweeting this one out for sure. We had some questions there. Why am I not going to go long WWE again? Okay, it's kind of simple for me. We are busting near this VWAP. It's a good trade. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to protect some capital right now, or some profits. Obviously, it's not capital, but some profits on the day. I don't like how many times it's rejected the top up here. So I just wonder if I do go long again, you can scalp it. Maybe if you can get, yeah, I mean, this was not a bad reload. 45.33 wasn't horrible. If you wanted that, that's where we reloaded the first time. But yeah, I guess if you want a quick 70, 80 cents, that's not a horrible spot. I just think, guys, if we break this VWAP, we could travel back down to 44. And then all of a sudden, I'm taking like $1.20, $1.30 loser when my biggest winner was like 30, 40 cents on this name. Just done it a bunch of times. So yeah, that's why I don't want to take that one. But INO, guys, the dream continues. Let's see what happens when we break through 13 here. There's some sellers on this side. Let's keep it on here just for a minute. No, it's not breaking. Okay, I didn't want to throw to Brendan if we were going to break that, but INO right here. What a great trade. Smile up on this one. We're about to tweet this out. INO goes right to one of my top stocks. XOM is a big one. Tesla. Beyond Meat, though, as I look on my P&L. That's my number one stock, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. We'll have a look at some FX pairs heading towards 11 o'clock here. You're going to see, I left Bitcoin up here. We were talking about Bitcoin if you joined us yesterday a little bit. Nice technical breakout through this 7,300 area. It's been in this channel going all the way back to last month, in fact, March. So an entire month basically between 6,500 and 7,300 and change as of yesterday. No longer. We're back above that 7,400, almost 7,500. Did actually get to 7,500, but pulling back in a little bit. You can see basically a little bit negative on the day there. 74.80 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, the other one we like to track down as well, 1.4% on the day. But nice look on the chart at least for Bitcoin. Everything else pretty muted so far today. The euro is positive, about 0.3%, 108 and change. Canadian dollar back to the downside. We had the nice two-day move up in crude oil. That helped our CAD move higher as well, but a little bit of a pullback here today, back to 71. British pound is negative today. We have the Swiss franc and Japanese yen, both in negative territory, but just Australia and New Zealand. 2 days in a row, these ones moving kind of opposite to one another. They usually trade very similar to one another, but Australia and New Zealand, Australia's higher, New Zealand not so much. So a bit muted as far as currency markets are concerned, but Bitcoin having another strong day. Let's go back over to Neil.
Thank you very much. INO just broke 13 even, and what did it do? The first thing it did is try to retest lower, that little squeeze that you sometimes do see. It didn't get very far, so it basically came down to about 96. If you kept some powder in the keg, maybe that was the price that you got. For me, I end up with 03s to the long side on this trade. It was good at 12. It was good at 12.50. That was our initial long. Now we're trying it again here at 13. 13.50 was also a level yesterday. Just going back to the chart to show you guys what we're looking at. That is the 13 mark from yesterday, but 13.50 was like a triple, quadruple high, whatever you want to call it. That was a level we were watching very, very closely, and that's the next stop to the upside on INO. So let's see if we can hold it. You might want to leave yourself some room, like I mentioned, if you're really bullish on this name. 1290 retrace would not be out of the question, especially given that it didn't immediately run here to the upside very rapidly. So it's holding 13 for now. We do like this one on the reverse. That was definitely a key level. We're shorting it all morning long, all the way down to 12, and then a reversal at 12.50. We shorted in front of 13. That was our first loss of the day, and now we reverse to the long side. Still have some whiting petroleum on here. Unfortunately for me, I like this long. We've had it at 111, but look at the range it's been putting in. Basically between 115 and 122. We've had some opportunity to take the last bit off here for a 10% return, but I'm hanging on to it for a bigger move in case we can get it. Let's see what happens. I have no reason to get out of it unless it breaks break even. Let's go to Valeria. What do you have?
Hey guys, welcome everyone who just joined us. I remind you that we are live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe for our channel and you'll receive notifications when we are back on air. Also, we are preparing a lot of interesting stuff for you, including educational series. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss that. And guys, we almost reached 9,000 of subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Let us go for the weekend happy. So on Monday, we meet with you again and trade and entertain you even better. Back to traders, I'll see you later.
I mean, guys, like I go for a break. We grab some, let me know if you guys like some fruit salad. Here's the fruit salad right here. We take a little break. I like the kiwis in here, the watermelons. We've got some good, decent stuff here. And look what happens. We come back and pokeroo. Sean, when are you going to lose one of these days, guys? We take the long through 13. We get out at 13.11. Now we're ripping up to 13.13. We got these shares on once again. I&O destruction continues. Now I need to tweet again, guys, because look at this trade. That's why we get out here. You dump the shares at 98, then you simply just reload again as we're going. And here we go. Hit the winners again, guys. Swish, swish to the upside. Bang it out. The winners just keep on going, guys. This is what we're doing. Let's keep this trade going. I want to take some of this fruit salad, re-energize, and give you guys some more winners.
Yeah, as we mentioned on that I&O, guys, 1350, of course, we were just reviewing on the daily chart there. We're looking at yesterday's session, so I like to take some profit off. I talked about maybe reloading when it broke down below 13, but it never got past 95, 96. You never got more of a re-entry point. I do think right now, I wouldn't let it get past that 90 mark. For me, that's where the stop is going to be on that long. You don't want to turn it into a losing trade. It's not that big of a break. I would have expected us maybe to immediately test 20 to 25, halfway towards that 1350 mark, because it hasn't gone. I'm not going to want this one to turn into a loser. This has been a great short all morning long. It then turned into a fantastic long, and now you're looking at it again here through 13, but not going to give it too much past 1290.
No, yeah, I'm waiting for 1294, 1295 here on that reload. Look, we still got XOM, guys. I mean, XOM is a nice little winner here, but we're light on it.
You guys were asking about Intel, guys, and the market just rolled over at 2,800. We just turned around on Intel, failed to get to that 58 mark, so it is turning back to the downside. Now remember, this of course was under pressure all morning, well in the afternoon of course, after that earnings play. Watch out in this price. I am going to take a shot here below that 2,800. I like the Intel short around 57.50. You take it in this price range, the pre-market, the opening range high, 57.60. Right in that is going to be my pocket with the high of the day as you're out. And then if the market continues to roll over and hold below that 2,800, nice opportunity here in Intel to grab that short for the first time today after a decent long off the open. But it's time for our European update. Valeria, what do you have?
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Well, Europe is in a negative territory today. Britain is down 0.76%, Germany is down 1.13%, France is down 1.04%, and Italy is down 0.47%, while Spain is down 1.63%. Well, some quick news from Europe. Lufthansa announced that it might run out of cash this week. Italy will allow small shops to reopen, though business owners understand that it will take a long time before they get back to their normal habits. 27 Euro Union members had a call on Thursday to discuss recovery fund. They yet need to decide how to finance it, how big it will be, and what's going to be in there. The only thing all of them agreed on that 500 billion they injected previously is not enough for the region. That's all with Europe, and back to traders.
So I did slide into that Intel position that we were just talking about before that little break. Starting here at 57.39, I kind of mentioned 40 as an entry price, but that's the target range. You get that opening range top at 65 there. You call it 70 even. You can work into the trade here, and you're looking for the futures to roll over. And when I say the futures, I was mentioning the ES, but you can also look at the NASDAQ, basically making a bit of a triple top here and then coming back to the downside. And this is why we're going to be playing Intel. I want to see us roll back over, maybe turn into negative territory, And, all I have left on is the Whiting long, still at 111. It's going to give me a reload at 110, but I'm not going to let it go past that. And now Intel to the short side. I want to be adding to that position around 57.60 to 65 is probably the best price that I will pay for that short.
Yeah, so what are you short now? 50s, I think, on Intel, Neil?
No, I ended up having to start at 40s. I mentioned
40s,
it at 50. I did not get 50. It continued to go down. Now it's back in that range. So I do like this one in between 57.70 and then 57.40 using the high of day.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, because we have this view up at 57.12, I was going to wait until we get to there to short Intel, but I do like the shorting of Intel at some point anyways, although now we start to head upside. I don't know. I did just take a long here on Apple, kind of thinking the same type of thing, that we are near this range. If it gets below this little wick right now, I mean, this is not a very aggressive position at all for me. Like I said, we're not going to put on real risk now at this time of day unless I see something move in the futures, and right now we're just stuck. So we're going to wait on Apple right now, breaking down below this. I mean, here it is. I'll probably be out of this trade in a minute here. 279 and change coming through. The reason why we go long Apple, look, it's up 1.5% right now, and the market's only up 0.42%. So maybe if this market gets going, Apple will go a little bit further as the beta's more aggressive than 1 today. So you're going to see Apple on the upside here if this market turns around, which I think we have a chance. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to find the sleepy thing here, because right now, look, although this, I know I'm raising my voice and going crazy here, but that's because the individual stocks, we don't actually have anything really happening in the marketplace. So I don't know if this is a Friday thing or what, but we may have to wait till the afternoon to get some action here. The market's pretty tired right now, I think, after a pretty exhausting week. I will check in on Gilead, though, when we get back. But right now, what's up with Brendan?
Nice look here for Vaxar, guys. I think this is like 3 days in a row I've mentioned this one. 14% today to the upside, 310 up here. A little bit of resistance early on this morning, holding again as resistance, but they updated some preclinical data on their COVID-19 vaccine, which was better than expected. Guys.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. Back to that Whiting trade, of course, still have a little bit here at 110. I was waiting patiently to only get back in precisely in front of it. That's where I'm kind of going to stop out on this one. It was such a great trade earlier on. I don't want at this time of day to be throwing away too much of my profit. I think that's one of those things that you have to consider when it gets a little bit later on in the session. It's where do you find your best success? I was literally just telling a trader that it gets to 11 o'clock, and if the market is looking any kind of weak lately, I'll always try to find a short. Doesn't always work out for me. Yesterday, I literally got stopped out of a short trade 2 minutes before the Gilead news came out, and then the long I had on UAL didn't work out. So Intel, I did grab more shares into this short position. I did get my price to that 57.50 that we were talking about there, so I guess that's going to be exactly what we're looking for. Whiting just broke that 110, so we're going to get out of that one, look for another trade there. Lose a couple of cents on our last entry long. When you're making 5 to 15 pennies on Whiting, you got to make sure you have a risk parameter that works for you. But the market's sliding back down. If we get to 8,600, I like this Intel short. We get to VWAP and maybe get a further flush here. They're down 3%. Obviously, the entire space was under pressure. And if we turn negative on the session, Intel looks like a decent place to be.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure here. As we're going to look on Apple, like I said, we did get out there. Now we're cracking through this VWAP, looking to make some lower moves here. Apple, I think this is going to be a decent short, 27.40 right here. If we can get that, we will take Apple to the short side on this one. But we did test along here and failed that one. So we will, I think we dodged a bullet, because look where we were able to get out here. Here's, whoa, a little matrix action there. Dodging that bullet as we go, 279 and change. We get out at 279.09. Should have reversed that short though, because look, we withstand here 50 cents to the downside. So that's a good one. My only short that I have just keeps on working, and it's XOM. Just to check back, we still have Smile Direct. I don't know what the hell this stock's doing. I thought it would break out. We've just been averaging in and out of this one. It's still a positive name for us because of what we did early on Smile Direct right here. But, we're still holding on to some of these bottoms here. 544. We'll wait to see here. It's at 543. Kind of a sleepy name there, Smile Direct, guys.
Yeah, I'm just sort of looking around, guys. I want to go over to a different name, and that's from a couple of days ago, and that's going to be a Snapchat here when it finally loads up. Testing the high and breaking through 16, but if you look at the pre-market, I'll zoom out so you can kind of see it here. If you look at the pre-market action, we got as high as this 16 mark a couple of times before flushing out, and then if you look at yesterday's session, it's sort of worth noting there was a lot of consolidation around the same price, so a rejection here on Snapchat, sorry, did I say Smile Direct? On Snapchat could be an interesting short as well. Of course, I've already got Intel, and if you're looking for something to roll over, I think Snapchat's not a horrible place to be involved. So gonna have a quick look. If you do look at the daily, it also hard rejected off a parabolic move a couple of days ago. So lots of reasons maybe to think there could be some weakness below this 16 mark. If you look at it throughout the week, it really starts to stand out to you, that 16 to 16.10. So if we continue to roll over, Snapchat, between 16 and 16.10 looks like a short.
We are now into our Apple short as well. We talked about going short here, 278.40. So let's see if we can't keep this one going to the downside here. 278.40. We're now short Apple. I don't know what this is going to do. We got to watch this market. A nice little. Yeah, see, this is the problem. You see, we come right down to this low again, expecting this to break on finally a move down, and it doesn't. It rejects this bottom again. So 27.85 here. Nice little rejection in the marketplace for this name on the futures. And obviously, you're going to get almost the exact same look here on Apple as, what was that? Apple right now spiking up a little bit. Not a bad spot to average in, but again, this market is too quiet right now for me. So again, I'm not sure about an average in, but if I do, our out will be probably up here somewhere where we start to bunch up here, 279.50 or so. Not a bad out if we do get stuck. Apple could be our first loser of the day, guys.
I think I might. Oh yeah, Brendan.
Yeah, another one that just got rejected up here, guys. Zoom. We were mentioning Zoom was up there at 179.5, 179.75. Just fell apart there from 178 down to 176. So we're back to the bottom end of the range. Still higher on the day, obviously, but definite resistance up there. High 179s, guys.
I think I just got shaken out of whiting here, and I just mentioned that in the chat to you guys. We talked about that 110 mark. Yeah, they just shook me out of that long. We did try to hang on to some shares for the home run trade. Through VWAP here, if we can get to 130. When it came all the way back in, we just took it out there. It's been a good stock for me, but this is probably our first misstep, was maybe not giving it just a little bit more on whiting. It's been so good, but now it's put in a couple of higher lows here, both when it didn't get to exactly to one even, and then again when it's turned around here at this 110 mark. So it is performing a bit of a wedge, and worth noting, of course, you still are seeing it below VWAP. You're still seeing a downward trend. You're still seeing a double top from both the pre-market and the opening range high at 156. So there's a lot of things working against this long if you're trying to hold at 110. And also the news, of course, that they're looking into bankruptcy. Of course, that's kind of the bigger piece of information that you want to pay attention to. But 110 does look like a good hold. You just might have to give it a couple of cents here.
110. I mean, look, everything right now is going to be dependent on what this market does if you're trading some of these bigger cap names like this. But yeah, right now, Smile Direct, XOM, and Apple, the only positions that I have on right now. A little bit of a reload here in Apple. We'll see if we can't get some out midway through here just to absorb some of this potential hit. As I said, I do not like the fact that the market did bounce off of this already made low here, 27.85. What do you got for us, Brendan?
Another little one here, guys. We've looked at this one many times on the show before. MBOT, Microbot up here, 27%. Not seeing anything in the way of significant news on this name, but $8 here. Definite level for this thing coming back up to $8 from below. Once again, MBOT, guys.
MBOT, eh? All right.
Yeah, guys. Some of you guys are asking there. Someone was like, yeah, first mistake of the week. I mean, it's not the first mistake of the week. I make plenty of mistakes. A couple of days ago, I had a horrible keystroke error where you put the wrong amount of shares in, and that'll happen to you. This time, it's going to be that Intel, and this is like multiple times this week. We get to this time of day and I'm looking at the market sort of holding the highs, not getting a clear direction to the upside, holding about flat, and then jumping into something that had some bad news and trying to get a retracement trade. So, Intel, our initial long, we don't hold long enough. End up taking only taking about 40-50 cents on that one. And then I jump into the short here on Intel in that same 57.50 range. And look, if this move never goes past 57.80 and then we end up flushing from here, then I'll have some pie in my face for that one. Maybe I could have given that one to the high of day. The structure of trade on a pullback that I'm doing here, I like to use this little lower range, and then if it breaks out towards the high, I'm just going to get out. Certainly giving it to the high of day is reasonable. I'm just not going to go ahead and do that. It's too much of a range-bound day, and I don't think the upside of the trade is quite big enough to give it that extra sort of 30 or 40 pennies.
Okay, we're looking at Apple coming right to the back to the downside. Nice little average in here on Apple, giving us this price now. So we're right back to flat on Apple. We did take some risk off. Like I said, I did not like the futures bouncing around too much there. But we are looking to see if we can break. If we could break this 23, 27, 43-ish area that I'm short, I do like this to tick down here back into the 20s. And here we go, more to the downside right now as we're taking some winners on Apple. The money keeps falling down, guys, but one thing we are ready for right now, it looks like, is in focus over there with Miss V. Take it away, Valeria.
Thanks, Sean, and hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Some quick news updates in case you've missed. Shares of Zoom closed 12.5% higher on Thursday after the company announced its daily number of users grew 50%. More than 300 million people used Zoom on April 22nd. Delta and United reported their first quarterly losses in more than 5 years. In general, air travel has dropped more than 95% in the US due to pandemic. JP Morgan is warning some of its customers that even if funds for federal small business relief program are approved, money won't last and they might better apply somewhere else. Dubai allowed restaurants and cafes to resume business. Shopping malls will operate from 12 to 10 p.m. local time, but with the maximum capacity of 30%. Well, that's all for today. Stay in focus and back to guys.
Thank you very much. I was just sort of saying there, why do I mess with Intel? I talk about these stupid selling in the tech or the market, and it is sliding to the downside, but Snapchat was actually the better play. When I went to the daily showing you guys that 16 to 16.10 mark, I take the shot in Intel, but Snapchat already giving you that VWAP of retracement that you would be looking for. A couple of you guys keep asking about whiting here and all. The best I can say for you is I'm done with this one for the time being when it comes to long trades. It either has to retest the bottom at 1 and then give you a nice little bounce, or it's going to have to break above $1.30. Inside of that range, I'm not going to be long in the stock ever again. Well, not ever again. The rest of the day today, I need to see some clear direction. It's done 58 million shares. If you're going to scalp it, it's probably to the short side from action. It's still a downward trend. It's down 35%. The news was negative as well. So if you're still holding long, when it was at 125 in front, I said that was going to be a kill point. You shouldn't be long below there. Now I'm kind of saying I do not want to be day trading this one to the long side unless it holds that one even bottom, guys.
Okay, and look at this, guys. Once again, feels a little bit like a hamster wheel here, but hamster wheels, if they're profitable, call me a hamster, because check out this. 278.18. We talked about Apple, and if this market crashed, what could possibly happen? Check this out, guys. To the downside, we now have a 50-cent winner on Apple. Let's go. Let's keep running this, guys. If Apple can get back down here, we do like this name. I told you it was relatively strong as opposed to this market. So as we fall down here, I'm expecting Apple to give some back. We get out right there. 278 even. What was that price? 278.02. So there it goes. Little wink action for you there, guys, as we continue to go down. Let's see what happens on the downside now. Apple just accelerating our net high as we possibly can right now. Let's throw it over to Mr. Wickens.
The sheep, yes. GDX, guys, want to mention GDX here. Big mover higher yesterday to the upside, up to 34.80 here. Back to the downside today. Just noticed it broke this little pivot, 33.25, 33.30 area on decent volume. So big move higher in the miners yesterday, gold miners, but back to the downside, guys.
Always with looking at GDX, and you know what? We don't talk enough about gold, to be perfectly honest with you. The real story has been, this week and maybe last week, energy as well. So you look at the crude oil contract, and again, that 18 level that we were talking about, what a hard reversal. We're now below that 17 mark, so this is the weakness that you're seeing here. And, it's not to say that this is the reason why you're going to be hands-off for longs and whiting, but this is also certainly going to be a key factor for it. If you're going to look at an XOM, if we can finally make a bit of a bottom here, I think that's going to give you a little bit of an opportunity. It's now back to flat today, but look at this pressure that it's under. So what I'm looking for now in Exxon is to see if we can hold this 43.36 bottom, maybe get back above 50. If you get any kind of a turn in crude oil, then I'd be looking to catch a bit of a scalp long. If you run it up to 44 even, that'd be fantastic. But first things first, you do need to see WTI find any kind of a base here. That was a hard turn and now a 10% retracement. If it can hold above 1650, that's the play over in XOM.
Yeah, and oh ho hum, Neil, XOM, we have an 83-cent winner on right now, so we are still holding these shorts. I got a lot of shout outs from you guys earlier when we talked about this XOM trade. Early on, guys, we went long up here. These are all these green marks right here. All the reds are us selling out of our longs, right? So we noticed it wasn't going. You're bouncing around VWAP. VWAP wasn't here at the time, but we're bouncing around right here. Oh, maybe I'll blow this up so you guys can see here what we're talking about on XOM. Bouncing around, getting out. Then we decide, hey, you know what? We watch oil, we see what's happening here, and then bang, bang, go short, and now all the way down here, and our last 10% looking to get out here. I just keep holding this. I did have a stop somewhere up around here, $44, but we've come all the way back down here. I didn't initiate any other trades on this one. We've been crushing everything else. So XOM right now, the stock du jour for me. We've been absolutely killing all of these names. You guys might say we're the losers. I don't know, but we'll see here. If Apple actually could be a loser here, comes right back to the top side. Actually, we'll be about flat on Apple if we do get out. What a move back in the futures. We may short Apple once again here, guys.
Yeah, you guys are asking about that MDGS. I mean, I've been done from this one after we had that nice little long break at about 10 o'clock. 230 was a level in the pre-market, so now that it's basing off of that, it's not a horrible idea there, but you probably have to give that long all the way to this little low here, that 205, 210 mark. So you're risking 10%. You just want to make sure if you're catching this long on this retracement, you got to make sure your profitability is at least to VWAP here on a 250 break. It's got to get to 260 to 280 to target out. I don't like it too much, so I'm not going to be jumping into MDGS. But if that's what you're looking for, it hasn't consolidated that deeply yet. If it wants to bounce off 230 one more time with a little bit more volume here, you're seeing it sort of taper off a little bit. That indicates only some profit taking. Maybe if there's some additional selling and testing that level, I might like it a little bit more. But it's a reasonable level at 230. We did like it in the pre-market at that price, but I waited for the break at 250 and then grab it at 260. I think there's plenty of upside to get back to 3 in case it has made that bottom.
Okay, I have a little bit of an idea here, guys. We just take a little bit more shares than we're used to here on Apple because I feel like I have this out 279.25. So we're going to hold this one for a little 30-40 cent winner. Loser if it does happen, but we take a nice little average, way more shares than we had at any of these spots now. We are now short Apple again, 27.05. We'll give it all back, of course, if it breaks up here. Only a small little trade here on Apple. We'll see if we can't get back to VWAP and take some of this out. But right now, Apple, let's see if we get a win right now. Let's go, Valeria. Brandon.
All right, guys. Yeah, a little IPO just opening on the NASDAQ. Wanted to mention this one. Oric Pharmaceuticals here opened at 26 versus IPO price of 16. So doing some decent volume, in fact. ORIC on the NASDAQ, still 56% obviously. But the 25 actually looks like 25.60 on our system there for the open price for ORIC, little pharmaceutical IPO, guys.
And there's chicken dinner winners.
And sliding to the downside on that ORIC, a bit of a level here at 25. If you guys are watching that gets taken out. You could see a big time downside move. I'm looking to see if it can hold and then pop a quick long off of that level, but the spread about 25 cents and the volume only decent. I'm not sure how much we can leverage on this.
Yeah, and here it goes, guys. Chicken dinner winners on Apple. We did talk about that coming to VWAP, so we basically get clean out of that one. Now we were holding small, but once again, guys, there it is. We give you that trade. I tell you it's going to go back down to VWAP. It's a quick little 30-cent winner there, but we floss it off on Apple. These are real trades, guys, real shares being put in. So this is why I get a little excited here on the chat. And I see Kevin's PM me here. I want to tell him thank you once again for a great job today helping us with the chat and all the experience that he has. Won't go unforgotten, that's for sure. So you guys definitely make sure you follow Kevin on chat. Kevin Carter there, just mentioning here about Intel. Neil, let's check back in. What is Intel doing?
Still strong. So we took it out and it actually just got back up to 57.80. So, I like the out there. It seemed like it was relatively strong. The futures actually continue to slight upward trend. Sorry, guys. I still have that ORIC that Brendan was just talking about there. I'm actually going to see how much it costs for us to be able to short it. That 25 even so far is the low of the day after opening at 26. It's under a little bit of pressure here. So I want the opportunity to go short on a break of 25. Just want to see how much it's going to cost me.
Okay, we are just still running through here, Apple, and we're waiting to see if it does take off this 27.20. Look, Daniel Shea from Simpler Trading coming through today at 11.50. That should be a good one. Follow us all on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. We all have our individual accounts as well. I'm tweeting out charts and whatnot, building a following here, so join the club on that as well. And thank you to all of our viewers today, cracking over that 1,000 mark. Brendan, give us something, bud.
Another little one here, actually not too small, but QDEL, 4.5% here, came up to 131 and just rejected big time, moved back through 131, back to the downside. They updated a test that they have on a product for COVID-19 that was positive. So nice look for QDEL, thinly traded, but have a look at that one. We're going to go over to Valeria.
Hello dear viewers, and welcome everyone who just joined us. We are trading live here every day, so subscribe for our channel if you want to see more trading content. And guys, we literally a few subscriptions behind 9,000 subscribers, sorry. Please hit the subscribe button if you didn't do that yet, and hit the thumbs up because we already reached 400. Guys, also check out our social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and of course YouTube. You can find us at Trader TV Live. I'll see you back later. Back to traders, sorry.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Yeah, for sure. Hit the like, hit the follow. Just saw a bit of a turn in crude there, just a tiny one off of the little bottom. So I'm going to start into that X. So I'm giving it to the low of the day. It hasn't actually broken out unless we get above that 43, say 55 mark. And I also am warming up to you guys with that MDGS. I did mention that I would like to see a little bit more consolidation that I had already seen down around that 230 mark. It did make a test of 250, so it's tried to go one time. If it can hold above this like 235-ish mark without retesting 230 even, I think that channel will give you a breakout, or you just wait for 250 to go. I think either of those things are good for us now on this name. That ORIC, very, very illiquid, but there was a great bounce off that 25, and it just got to 26. So I'm still going to look to see if 25 ever breaks, maybe for a short opportunity. Looked good when it was there, and we're looking at about 8 cents for locates for us. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get those shares in case we get that 25 break.
279, 11, 12 or so. So yeah, you guys want to know how you wind up losing on a day. It's not a big trade, it's fine, but this stop order here, that was my initial stop order on this trade. So I actually got 2 ins here. So I am back long now, Apple, which is why you see me start to sell some of this. So looks like Apple may be the only loser for me today. But we're long 41s. This is a mistake because I didn't want to go long here, but we could capture some profits. And the reason why this stop order was in, guys, is from this little bottom right here, stopping out. So I don't mind the long here, but we are getting some of this out. I'm going to drop it if it goes below this wick. This is not a purposeful trade, but it's light. So we'll see here, 279.40. I do like it if the futures go, but we're not giving this one much room, as again, it's a mistake trade here. So, but we'll see if we can make money off of some of our mistakes. I know that we always lose on them, so we will see. XOM still now, guys. I can't hit it enough. We keep flossing it off, but this is now $1 in the money on XOM. Sometimes you got to leave your trades going. Shout out to Arun for that one, as he's taught me well here, try to hold some of these trades. And that's the thing, guys, I have 18 years experience and still able to learn off of some different people. So good job there, Arun, for teaching me about this one. Nice little dollar winner on XOM.
Yeah, that ORIC just broke 26 here, and I was actually looking for it just a little bit late to get those locates. It did reject at 26.66, so it's put in about $1.60 of a range. I'm gonna like that 25 break if it ever tries to retest it. That could end up being in the afternoon. Maybe it's after the show. I really couldn't tell you, but it did make a good run at it while holding up. Bit of an iceberg order there. I think it'll be worth the punch short. It is up significantly, of course, from the IPO issue. So I'm going to like this one through 25. I want to see it retest the high. If it fails there, we'll try shorting it again between 26 and 26.50. Given the spread that this is working with at times, and now it's 5 cents, but a second ago this was about a 15-cent spread. I think you got to be a little bit picky with your levels here. Either you're catching a level break where there's liquidity, or know your target entry point. XOM for me, when oil turned, I started that long position. I have 43.43, oddly enough, is my price. It is working back above that 50. I think till it gets above 55.60, it's not really got the juice that I'm looking for, and I'm not really taking anything off until it passes that 55 to 60 mark.
Yeah, I see some there. Yeah, I was just explaining I was long kind of by accident here on Apple, but now we're going to wait to see if we get back to VWAP. So we're actually just going to drop it at 279 if it goes. But look at the futures now getting elevated a little bit to the top side. I always talk about this 2780 level, and once again, guys, bounces off there once again. So we'll see. We'll see if Apple can't hold this. We did note that Apple's relatively stronger than the market, so that's why I don't mind holding this. Like Intel there, Intel is super strong. My best trade on, Intel is still, as far as profits concerned, one of my top stocks today. We only hit Intel once today, and it was huge. I gave you guys all this trade in the morning, 56.40. We missed it, but we got reloaded here down at this side. Unfortunately, we dropped at 57 in change, but now you're bouncing up to 58. What an absolute long this would have been down here when we were talking about it, 57.50. Now pulling away from 58. So let's wait to see on that one. I still got Smile Direct not doing anything, and XOM still at dollar in the money. So for me, it's pretty light. We're at pretty high. I've given some back on these last Apple trades, but guys, we are profitable Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now today, Friday, all verified. You can re-watch all the YouTube videos if you want and see the trades, but glad you guys are joining us. Thank you so much. As we march to 10,000, please guys, we need 10,000 subs. Hit us up for that, and we'll be happy. But either way, we're back on Monday. Jam-packed guest schedule coming up all next week, guys.
I said I was going to get to the airlines and then sort of got sidetracked with Intel and now looking at XOM. I think that's just what's happening to me in the oil space. WLL, Whiting's pulling back to that 120 mark. But it is worth noting there is nothing so far stopping the downward slide in UAL, even with the strong markets that you're seeing. So, I think there's going to be an opportunity. These are heavily shorted, maybe a 25 even break. I'm looking at some of these names here that are trying to make some consolidation. You guys are talking about MDSGS, sorry. Let's have a look here at a UAL, maybe through that 25. It's just been under so much pressure that I think you got to be picky. All I have on, and Sean talked about being light, for me, all I got on is that XOM position. And again, it's just looking at the little bottom that was put in both on this name and in crude oil futures after that 18 turn that was so ridiculous. And we talked about it when it got there. If we get above this 43.55 mark, we'll look to start taking profit up on a VWAP retracement level. I think that's what it's going to be about there. For Snapchat, the short to me was a VWAP retrace earlier. I will look at it if you guys are interested here. Yeah, I don't know. The level I was looking at with that 16 to 16.10, it gave you the VWAP retracement short. I don't know that I'm shorting it here, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe I'll have a deeper look. I don't see a heck of a lot of reason. Maybe if you go back into yesterday's session, the 16.25 could be a bit of a level. I'm going to stay away from it personally. I think there's a lot of chop between there and that 40 mark. And when it gets up in that range, it's probably going to try and shake a lot of people out if it trades there for too long. And at lunchtime, I don't want to get chopped.
Yeah, guys, Snapchat, we crushed that yesterday, but 2 days ago we missed that 15 break. That was super important when that did happen. But Brendan, what's up?
Capri Holdings here, guys. Another one updating their full year guidance and also current quarter guidance to the upside today. CAPR on the NASDAQ 30%. Nice look so far today. This one not doing a heck of a lot of volume, but nice trending move to the upside. Just broke 250, came in, tested 250 and held. So CAPR still kind of grinding higher, guys.
Yeah, Capri Holdings. I think retail is pretty much dead, though, but we'll wait to see on Capri Holdings there. Intel grinding higher and higher. Good look there from everybody. Kevin was talking about the relative strength on Intel's. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why I had to take it off. I'm sitting there and I can't really be fighting it. I wanted the futures to roll over. When they don't do that, you just got to get out. I want to get you guys back to that ORIC, back to that 26 mark. The volume is not tremendous on this name, but I think it might be worth a stab here. It looks like it's trying to roll over. You can maybe give it to 26.20 or so, and it was pretty reasonable to be able to take those shorts. So I might work into something if I can find the opportunity here to that sell side trade. Bit of a buyer at 25.50, so we'll watch out for that as well. There goes XOM trying to get past that 43.55 mark. Again, I could be scalping this one out for 10-cent wins here or there, but I sort of gave you the idea, giving it to the low of day and trying to make sure we take profit starting above that 55 to 60 mark.
Yeah, we may get into XOM again at some point. I'm going to check out some levels here, guys. XOM's been a top stock for me, 77 cents now in the money. So like Neil said, you can scalp it for dimes and stuff like that. You still get to the same spot as long as you have the winners, guys. Everyone trades different style. That's the one thing that we always get asked about education and things like that. Trade your own style, whether that be big shares, small shares, breakouts, whatever. I'm pretty lucky today that I've been hitting everything, including INO. That was a big trade as well. So this is a small cap breakout. We're lucky enough to be able to trade a lot of different styles here, including, you go from INO right over to Tesla. My account is well funded, so I don't have any problems taking any of these trades here. I did want to check out Tesla, though, possibly a trade here, breaking through 705.50. XOM still for the win, guys. Still heading southbound a little bit. We're going to see if it can break off 43.30 or so. You know what? I'm just going to put an order here, 43.40. Let's see if we can't wrap this guy up. Take about a clean dollar on this one. XOM, I'm just going to get out. It's very, very sleepy time for me. I don't like to trade stocks that aren't moving too much, guys.
Hey, you guys, we're trading on P Pro 8, and that's with Day Trade the World. So look, we have direct market access. It's going to be a unique experience for us. That's how we can trade so heavily. I mean, I'll let you guys guess how many executions Sean has. I'll anchor it by saying I have 122 executions today, which is on the higher end for me. But we're able to do that because that direct market access and low fees on each of our trades, and we're day trading here, so we're not holding anything overnight. That helps us out as well. We're getting that 55 mark in XOM, so I have to start considering my profit taking opportunities. I did say once it got there, we'd look to start taking some off. It did just turn around. I mean, you're seeing it a very, very slow base, and we're getting close to that lunchtime mark, so I'm not expecting this trade to work rapidly. This could be one that we're hanging on to for 15 minutes, a half an hour, maybe even longer than that before it breaks out of this bottom end. Long 43.43. We've been in the money as much as 15 pennies or so. I need more than that if I'm going to start taking off any profit.
Yeah, okay, good look there. What did we just get out of right there, by the way? Oh, XOM. So there it is. We take that out at 44, and bang, we say WTF XOM. Why did we not hold more of you for all the way down here? And what a great trade that was to top it off. Look, guys, you could see all the profits at the bottom. I'm not at day's high because we did lose some money on Apple there, but we've been doing really well today. Looks like the only negative stock we will have is Apple. Hello, I guess my trigger didn't happen yet. No, 279.92 there. I don't know why I missed this Apple trade, but we are right down here. We should have got out on a 279 break. I'm still in, so we'll have to see probably some execution problems there, but we will wait to see and just get out of Apple now as we've broken down below 279. So Apple looks like, guys, we will eventually fall in a hole. So there you go. Even we get some losers every once in a while. This will be my first real one today, guys.
Yeah, just a quick look at that ORIC. Brendan, of course, mentioning that IPO today. It's 1.4 million shares in volume so far. We did manage to get the short end of this range around 26. Like I said, I'm not going to give it too far to that 25 mark. It's just not a tremendous amount of liquidity here. If we can hang out below VWAP, I think we can sell some of this, or buy it back in front of this 25.50 level, which is rather large. And then I still like 25 to see if it tests that one. I wanted that one for a break off the open. It held pretty nicely, but right now we need to go to Brendan. What do you got?
I was mentioning $9 on Overstock earlier, guys. Look at this, $9 down here. We held. Now straight up, and we're at $10. So dollar move there for OSTK, still 23%. I mean, the market kind of looking like it might want to roll over here, and Overstock still going higher, guys.
Yeah, there's so many plays today. It seems so easy, including that one. A great little look there. I should have looked at it.
It's not the first time Brendan's mentioned Overstock, and I don't think we've traded it. So definitely a good look there.
Yeah, good look by Brendan there. And look what happens when you miss Apple, guys. We talked about that I don't know why we missed the 279 break there, but yeah, we missed it. It goes all the way down. We did have a stop order, so now, unfortunately, I got out of a little bit here. We'll wait to see if it comes all the way back to the very bottom before getting out of the rest. But yeah, a little bit of a fallen hole there. We did turn bullish on Apple before it turning around on us. We were initially short. I just should have held some of these. This is what I mean by a choppy market. We still are in this chop range. I mean, it needs to break 27.82 before I even get serious with anything right now, but that's what we're waiting for here on Apple. Extremely profitable day. We'll just try to drop some off again as Apple comes right back to the upside now. We'll see if we get out now and then just regroup. I definitely want to look at that Intel long.
Yeah, and just having a quick look, some people have been asking about Home Depot. Haven't had a look at it at all today, to be perfectly honest with you, but it is a bit of a runner here. It's trying to make a top, and you see something which is pressing on the high of the day when the futures are making a bit of a range shy of their high. And the first thing you think about, and especially on the ES here, we pulled all the way back into 27.85. You know, this is relative strength in Home Depot. I think you really need to see it consolidate a little bit lower for me to like a short retracement. It hasn't put in a top yet. I'm going to be saying no mas for me. If it can hold below this 207 mark for any given time, I think at that point you can start considering the short. So that's just my 2 cents on Home Depot. I just started looking at it today, and it looks a little relatively strong on this Friday. For me right now, it's just XOM off that low. Despite the fact we bounced in crude, XOM is retesting the bottom. So seeing some weakness in XOM relatively here. It was in the money. I told you why I didn't take the profit off there. Certainly you could have if you wanted to have that same long. It was a nice little 15-cent scalp. I didn't want it for just that little. I was risking that about 15 to try and make about 30 to 50, and that was just the structure of my trade. But it's also 11:35, and that means Europe is closing, and it's time to get to Valeria.
Thank you, Neil. And yes, guys, Europe is closed now and closed in the negative territory. Let's update you on the numbers. Britain is down 1.21%. 1.12%, sorry. Germany is down 1.55%. France is down 1.11%, and Italy is down 0.9%, while Spain is down 1.87%. Well, Europe is closed, and I'll update you on Monday. Back to guys.
Okay, guys, we do have a big guest coming on here. If you come to my screen, guys, I have it up. Daniel Shea here, Director of Options and Trader Specialist at Simpler Trading, coming here at 11:45. So we're only 10 minutes away now. We'll have Daniel Shea talking hopefully everything equities, give her ideas on some options plays, as well as we don't trade options on the show. So if you're interested in any of that, guys, Daniel Shea coming through very soon on the show. We're excited to have her once again. I think she's been on 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. It may only be twice, but Daniel Shea coming through once again as, we're getting quite big here, guys, now. So got the big heavy hitters here. Daniel Shea, can't wait to see what she has to say about some of these markets and the option area as well. Look, Apple all the way back up. This is why we hold a little bit of it anyways. Coming back to the upside, 279 and change as the market, like I said, this is why you don't trade some of these big names right now. Just use my experience to your advantage. Don't get caught here trading right now. There's not much happening. You're going to get whipped out of most of these trades.
Yeah, I know we were sort of talking about that here, and it's sort of why I took off that Intel trade a little bit early, and I was saying in Smile Direct why there were some initial plays there in not Smile Direct. I keep saying that when I mean Snapchat. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like that Snapchat. It's not that there isn't an opportunity there or you guys shouldn't look at those stocks, but it's 11:30, and I just find that time of day, it can be when I'm giving back profits, when I get a little bit too picky. You want to make sure you're with the trend here. That's sort of why with this XOM trade, I'm just not scalping it. Like, this is either going to go up here on a nice little bounce, or it's just going to take out the low of the day. I don't want to get jiggled out of the trade. This is a structured long that I have in XOM. And to me, unless you have that kind of an idea on an Intel, on a short trade, I don't know that you want to be digging in at this time of day. I mean, the futures are trying to roll over. Yeah, that's nice. But what is Intel doing? It's still pushing through the high. It's holding above 58 right now. I got out 30 cents ago, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you are going to have those losers, and you just wait for them to happen. And you got to have structure, guys, because you could lose a hell of a lot of money if you don't have your ins and your outs all structured up, right? But okay, let's just keep going with everything. New York State, Brendan Wickens confirming their increase of 438 a day earlier. Okay, so we'll see if we are not getting past, unfortunately, some of the stuff here with coronavirus. We're getting past it, I think, here in Toronto, but we'll wait to see some more numbers. Just keeps getting unfortunately worse and worse, but I think we're now canceled. Most of our social distancing extended now until the end of May, so we will see what's going on with that one. XOM, I know Neil keeps talking about it. Let's check back in on Smile Direct. It's the only position I have on right now, and it's relatively light because nothing's happening. We'll wait to see if it can take out VWAP here at 550. I may even go long if it breaks 550 again, but for now, that's the trade, and we're waiting to see if we can make some money somewhere here in today's market. But we're pretty huge. It's been a great day. Like I said, Apple Apple created me my only loser, so we are a little bit off of our high of the day for me right now. But yeah, 164 trades today for me, pretty light. But that's what happens when you crush it in the morning. You tend to take a little bit of risk off. So we'll wait to see 164 trades. I just haven't seen much go through here. Beyond Meat, though,
Sean,
my number one trade.
I'm not saying it's fallen off the earth, but it's what I need to happen here in this ORIC. And I've sort of been complaining about the lack of action on this stock, and took the opportunity to build into a short around this 26, like I mentioned to you guys, and then it finally gives a move down. It breaks through. We take some out at 80. We take some out at 66. There was a buyer there at 50, so I took some out there in front of that as well at 25.60. Now, ultimately, I wanted to flush to 25, like I mentioned, so hopefully we do get that. I'm not going to reload. If this wants to retest 26, it probably has a good chance to break through, so I'm going to keep my stop where it is, up here at 26.15, where it's been the entire time, and see if we can't ride this one down for a dollar winner on ORIC. I don't know, as sleepy as it's been, that I really like that 25 break again. I'm not seeing the volume or volatility to make it worth that, so I'm not sure we get a bigger flush than the dollar that we're looking for now. But we're now playing with house money. It can't turn into a losing trade. See if we can't hold on to this 26 short and catch that buck. Otherwise, we'll get the break even.
Yes, I'm just going to copy this image and see if I can paste it into a Twitter here for Daniel Shea coming up in about 5 minutes. Really super excited to have her on board today for sure to help you guys navigate through some of this marketplace right here. Okay, Apple, you know what? I'm just going to forget about that. Let's check back in on WWE. Look, guys, we talked about what happens here, why we don't want to average in, and look, this is exactly why. Nothing happening on WWE. So we have a bunch of fills up here. Still a good stock. We held the last 10%. Got out on this flush down here, but I just want to check back in. I mean, maybe if we break through 45.50 here on WWE, that could be something. Here's Beyond Meat. This was one of my biggest, this is probably my biggest trade today, taking this long here, 109.25 and just getting out all the way up here, then taking a short and cashing in again on this side. So Beyond Meat, just checking back in here, fading back through, but look at our out, 112.50, good out there. Beyond Meat is exciting a little bit because we have 107. We have 107 back in the range here. I'm going to call up maybe a 3-minute chart just to see where VWAP is on this one. Yeah, so we're still crashed below 109.50, but 107, this is not a horrible spot. We ticked up here earlier on. This may be a good short through 107 on Beyond Meat. I think I'll probably take this one, but again, these futures just killing me right here. Yeah, and if you want to rewind the tape, I mean, I just talked about ORIC being sleepy. Well, I guess not so much anymore. We just took it out there at the bottom there, 25.15 in front of that 25 even. That, of course, is the low. So, I mean, based off of this, and it's not doing a tremendous amount of volume, I don't think that's a spot where you try to get the perfect out. I think you just try to take what it gives you here, and that was 25.15, so 85 cents on the last little bit there. Now, granted, because of the lack of liquidity, I took the bulk of this position off for both 25 cents and then about 40 cents here in the middle. I think that's just what you have to do. It's just not nearly the volume that I would have anticipated, would have liked to see on ORIC this IPO today. Yeah, good IPO there. And look at this, guys. I&O still going, by the way, to the top side here. This was another stock that we destroyed once again today, only on a few fills. Our first long on this break, basically of the high of the day here at 12.63. Now we're still heading upside here. We talked about I&O a lot today. It's only up 10%. It's not even that much. We could still break through here. 13.35 on the upside here of I&O looks very, very decent. So you could come in again and try this break once again, I&O. But look, we were up here before yesterday, so I&O does have some issues breaking through this 13.50 area. So not sure I love that. I actually really, really love this. 13.63. If we can get up there, guys, let's reload and go hella long. 13.63 on I&O. Beyond Meat is about close to this cracking point as well. So Beyond Meat short, I&O long. That's all I have. I mean, my own position right now is SDC as we get ready for a couple minutes to have Daniel Shea from Simpler Trading.
Absolutely. We absolutely cannot wait. Look, and Sean mentioned this, and this is so true, guys. You cannot stop your learning experience as a trader. I don't care how long you've traded. I don't care how much money you've made. There is always more for you to learn, and this is why we bring these guests on for you to offer not just a different perspective but on the markets, but sometimes talk about sectors or maybe even or types of instruments that we're not actively trading. So make sure you tune in. If you have questions, either throw them in the chat. We can ask her on Twitter, or maybe later on, or maybe we can ask her right here when Brendan's doing the interview. But just make sure you're paying attention. We bring these guests for your learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why we do it. Okay, we're just waiting. I mean, I'm just sort of patiently waiting here. I mean, if this breaks 107, you could get into it a little short here on Beyond Meat, but other than that, and there it goes right through. So there's that 107 break, guys. If you guys have this one, watch out below. 107 breaks, you go instantly down to 106.50. So once again, guys, another chicken dinner there. Quick little 50-cent scalp if you wanted that one, breaking through 107. But we'll have to see what happens now on the downside of Beyond Meat there. We're going to give it a little bit of time here. What is this top? 109.34 here on Beyond Meat. I did want to check back on INO quickly because this is the big one. I'm still waiting for this 1362 to break. I think that has potential there. We've seen what some of these other little runners can do as we go. But what's AMD doing? AMD right now, that was a big stock the last couple of days, and I'm seeing today now trying to go red here on the day after being up quite nicely, down quite nicely early on. Now we're making that move back to the positive side. 56.20, a nice little spot once again here on AMD. Actually, I really like this, 56.20. We can break above this on AMD. We're going to take it. And guys, the reason why I keep talking about breaking through levels is because of this. The futures aren't doing anything. Why am I going to sit here and scout back and forth some of these Apples or Intels or whatever, even if I have a great read on it? The future's not doing anything. You're stuck in a range. No one would really put on big trades now. So you got to wait for the individual equity to break one way or the other before you actually make some real money on this. But AMD, I like it through 56.20. Okay, I've been talking about it all day.
Yes.
I sent out a few tweets here. Why don't we throw it over to Brendan now with our guest of the day.
Hey guys, thanks. Yeah, really happy to have Danielle Shea back with us from Simpler Trading, Director of Options over at Simpler Trading. Get ready because you're going to get educated today. We're going to talk about a couple of actual trade setups in the options world, a topic that we don't actually discuss on the show all that often. So if you're looking at options or interested in options, Danielle's going to educate you here on a Friday. Great to have you back on the show, Danielle. First of all, hope you're doing well on this Friday. Another crazy week. Another, I guess more normal week that we, have been used to over the past few. Let's jump right into the indexes here, I guess. I mean, you mentioned in your note that you sent to us, a little bit more range bound this week as far as the major indexes are concerned.
Yes, that's correct. This is really the first week that we've seen that has been so range bound. We're really seeing a lot of price action right around 2,800 in the S&P, pretty key psychological level. But I mean, especially in the options market, we really look for this type of price action on an options expiration Friday, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's an interesting time, for numerous reasons. You mentioned one there. You also said, call buying has gone through the roof. Let's maybe jump into that a little bit when it comes to the S&P 500. How much attention are you paying to that? And maybe just run through, the significance of that when it comes to the long side.
Yeah, so I mean, I pay very close attention to the put-call ratio, and that's because when the market gets too lopsided one direction or the other, it typically has to flip back the other way. So for example, when we were seeing extreme fear in the market a couple of weeks ago, we had an incredibly high put call ratio, which meant that so many people were buying puts. What eventually happens is all of those put buyers get squeezed out when we get a little bit of positive news. And now the opposite situation is happening. We've been trading off of hopium really for the past 2 weeks. And because of that, the market is getting really slanted now and we have a ton of call buyers. So what that means is that now there's not as many, buyers to keep pushing the market up. So it kind of gets stagnated.
Okay, as far as earnings, maybe Danielle, let's jump into some of the earnings names that have come out not only this week, but we still have some big names to come in this earnings season. How have you been approaching this earnings season? It's an interesting one. We've said on the show last week and then again this week, it seems like the reaction to some of these reports has not been the same as we've seen in the past as far as directional moves, kind of muted right across the board.
Yes, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there is just so much hype around some of these companies. I mean, you really have to look at this earnings season differently. I trade earnings season, every quarter it comes around. I typically look for a run into earnings in strong bullish names. I like to buy long calls a couple weeks ahead of time in these names due to bullish sentiment pushing the price upwards. But really this quarter, we've only seen that in typical coronavirus names like Netflix, like Clorox, like Zoom, DocuSign, Teladoc. But what's happening is because everybody's looking at those stocks, what we saw with Netflix on earnings, it popped up, just within the expected range and came right back down to the exact same price it was at before it reported earnings. So it's almost like a lot of that energy has already exploded prior to the report instead of on the report itself.
Obviously still trading in a very news-heavy or headline-based environment, I guess, when it comes to the coronavirus. We just saw, the headline out there again today, cases in New York State dropping for the second day in a row, which is positive. You mentioned, the market kind of hoping, I guess, that, we get to a point where those numbers are, in fact, the case right across the board. How much attention, I guess, are we paying to, the coronavirus numbers as far as cases goes going forward for this case for the market to actually move higher?
I think it's really important for the coronavirus cases to start going lower for the market to go higher. But I mean, honestly, at the same time, too, the market loves all of the stimulus. And so that's just something that we can't really ignore because let's say, for example, the coronavirus cases started going up. The market wouldn't like that. It would add more uncertainty. However, there's still all of the stimulus going on and the market loves stimulus. So I mean, it's a really complicated situation right now, but primarily I am looking at tech earnings next week because, I mean, a lot of these companies, they're going to be the ones that really show us if they're able to survive during this moment in time.
I want to have a look at some of the indexes here. We're going to pull up the slide that you sent to us with some charts on it as far as the indexes are concerned. Again, we're kind of in this range, kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop as far as directional moves are concerned. Talk us through, what you're looking at as far as the S&P and the other indexes at this point.
So currently looking at the S&P, I mean, we're really just stuck at that 2,800 level because we have so many call buyers. I mean, we're really in a situation where you could easily tip over the ledge and break through 2,800. But conversely, if you do have any type of positive momentum to really give buyers that one last push to the upside, I do think that we could potentially go as high as 2,900, but at that level of 2,900 in the S&P, there's a lot of key resistance. So there's going to have to be significantly good news to get us through that level and really move on to kind of a V-shaped recovery. So at this point in time, I'm looking for a little bit of stagnation. I'm waiting on a catalyst, and I'm primarily trading most of the FANG stocks.
I like that you have the tick up there, the chart of the tick market internals on the daily time frame as well, which is an interesting look. Maybe we'll have to do an entire segment on some of the market internals coming up in the future.
Yes.
Let's jump into some actual trade ideas here. The first one you wanted to mention was Microsoft. Talk us through that one.
So a lot of these FANG names, they're really highly traded in the options market. And so for whatever reason, they tend to stick around key psychological values as well as high open interest values. So when you have a lot of options traded around a specific number, on an options expiration Friday, a lot of times the price will stay right around that number. So in the options world, one thing that we'll do is we'll sell premium. And so what we do is we select that strike that has a lot of volume around it, and we sell premium there, waiting for Microsoft to hover around that same area, and then the premium will decay overnight, and then we can take that trade off for a profit. So yesterday I got into a bunch of these trades. Microsoft was one of them. I was looking for Microsoft to stay around the 172.50 price point and just kind of trade range bound and for that premium to decay overnight.
And this is specifically around, as you mentioned, the options expiration deadline. So I guess just a 24-hour kind of time frame on that idea?
Yes, so usually I'll get into them Wednesday or Thursday, so it can be a couple days longer. The problem with that is you have a larger range. So, from Wednesday going into Friday, perhaps you have a $7 or $8 range, but just Thursday going into Friday, you have a much smaller range that you're dealing with. So it's a little bit easier to pick the number correctly when you just do it the day before. However, the way that options work is they're decaying over time. So if you sell these premiums earlier in the week, then you're going to make more money. So it's just kind of one of those decisions that you have to make.
We actually have a question from one of our viewers on YouTube right now. Tom asking, tell us about your favorite strategy when it comes to this kind of idea. Is it the iron condor? Is it a strangle? Which one do you kind of lean on the most?
So I usually use an iron condor because I prefer protection. So typically whenever I'm selling premium, I'm either going to go with an iron condor at the money. Sometimes I also will do unbalanced butterflies. And then sometimes if I'm a little bit more directionally biased, instead of doing the iron condor, which is more neutral, I'll just simply stick with put credit spreads in the instance that, for example, Microsoft ends up trading higher.
Great stuff. Let's shift over to Amazon, the next one. What are you looking at as far as Amazon is concerned? Decent move earlier in the week, heading into, I guess, you know, more of a volatile state at this point.
Yes, we've had a great move in Amazon. I mean, of course, Amazon is seeing increased demands. One reason why, of course, it's been in the news so much and the stock price is trading so much higher. But I really love the cup and handle pattern on the lower time frame chart, the 78-minute chart. I also have a bit of consolidation there. So typically when I have consolidation, I'm looking for consolidation to break out in the direction of the trend. As you can see, it's kind of been trading between 2,400 and about 2,420 or so in that consolidated range. And I have a higher time frame target of about 2,450, 2,500, which would put it right at a new high. So whenever I'm looking at option strategies, I mean, I can trade it in a variety of ways. I can sell the put credit spread at 2,400. I can sell an iron condor at 2,400, or I use a bullish butterfly targeting 2,450 or 2,500.
And tell us about the time frame on something like that. Obviously, a stock that's been strong and still moving to the upside. What kind of time frame would that trade take?
Typically just a few days. So especially when I'm selling premium, I really, 1 to 2 day time frame. And then as far as looking for a bullish upside target, that'll be around about 5 days or so.
Another one then that is also highly priced, not quite Amazon priced yet, but Tesla. Also another one that's had just crazy movement over the past few weeks and sessions. Again, Tesla, what are you thinking?
I absolutely love trading Tesla. Tesla is one of my favorite tickers to trade because I primarily am a momentum trader. And so I love to catch, consolidation breakout moves. And so looking at Tesla here, I mean, it's really consolidating around that 700 price point. It's also another ticker that will typically close around a key psychological value on a Friday. So in this instance, I bought an unbalanced butterfly looking for Tesla to stay above around the 700 area, but I do love it for an 800 target to the upside. So I think next week for earnings, especially, I'll most likely put some butterflies. I usually like to do them to the upside and the downside on my key psychological value targets, but sometimes I'll just pick a direction, and Tesla is one of my favorite bullish stocks. So I might just stick with the upside on that one. Speaking
of earnings coming up next week, as we said, still the big names to come. Anything kind of standing out or that you have your eye on when it comes to next week for reports?
I mean, honestly, next week, I think it's going to be a very volatile week because, just in and of itself, when you have Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, when you have all these companies reporting earnings in the same week, it's always going to be volatile, but this quarter in particular is just so critical because this is when we're going to hear from our big companies and we're going to know how badly this pandemic is impacting them. So for me, I'm looking at overall, what is their impact? If not, for example, Microsoft has Microsoft Teams and Skype, and they have their cloud business. I mean, perhaps they're doing great. And so in that instance, if we have our big corporations coming out and saying, things are going all right, we might actually see the market continue to trade even higher.
An interesting name, I'll put you on the spot here a little bit, Danielle, an interesting name that we've looked at over the past couple of days here, Zoom video conferencing, obviously all-time highs. Out of nowhere, NASDAQ comes out, says they're going to move it to the NASDAQ 100 at the end of the month. How do you approach an idea like that when you get a move to the upside and then we have the whole market come in, Zoom comes in with the market, and now we're back to all-time highs?
So, I mean, I really like trading Zoom, Tesla, these types of names because they're key momentum moves. Typically, the way that I look to trade them is with something like this that's been continuing higher on high volume. I look at the end of the day price action. I usually use 30 and 78-minute charts, and I look for consolidation where price is closing right up at the highs on the day. And if I get that type of pattern, it's been happening pretty frequently with Teladoc as well, then what I do like to do is I like to sell put credit spreads before the market close, as well as potentially buy long calls for gap up the next day. So looking at something like this, I mean, you definitely had consolidation on the 78-minute chart on Zoom on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so then after that, it gapped up on high volume. So that's the typical type of setup that I love to trade in the options market. At this point, it would definitely need to come down a bit from where it's at, but I would love to keep it on my watch list and continue trading it.
Great stuff. One last question before we let you go today, Danielle. Joseph from YouTube wanting to know, any tips on actually getting filled when it comes to executing in the options world?
So first of all, you want to start off by picking options that actually have some volume and open interest. Typically, you want to see at least 100 contracts. I will trade things that are a little bit thin because they can be kind of fun. But it is easier if you start looking at strikes that have at least 100 contracts of high open interest, and the more the better. So that, first of all, will help you. Second of all, I always work a mid price. You definitely don't want to come in and just jump right at the ask. So I try to work a mid price and with something that has tight spreads. So, if you have the bid and the ask more than $1 wide, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So if you can identify options where you have a tighter spread and a little bit more volume, it's going to be a lot easier to get a fill.
Fantastic information as always. Danielle Shea, Director of Options over at Simpler Trading. A pleasure as always, Danielle. Have a great weekend and stay safe during this time.
Thank you. You as well.
We'll speak to you again real soon.
Yeah, have a great day.
There you go, guys. Danielle Shea from Simpler Trading, Director of Options at Simpler Trading. Great information there, as always. A topic that we don't really touch a lot on the show, and great questions there in the chat as well. Let's go back over to the guys.
Hit the fireworks for big time guest there.
Awesome.
Thank you. Great questions too, guys.
Yeah.
Look at INO though. We take long here on this break, long again at 13, and then long again. I told you at that high of the day we'd be going long, and we did. So that's from yesterday, 1360 and change. So now we're stuck long. What am I long? 1366. Getting some out here in the 80s and regrouping. My best I think was 82 or 83 there. Also working in AMD long as well off this little move. So right now 2 for 2 in what we're holding, and we still got this Smile Direct. So that's it. It's been a fantastic day. 190 fills for yours truly.
Yeah, big number there. You gave it away. I actually am at 137 myself, but just left with that XOM trade. We did get half out, made that 25-cent move, but I want more. I told you I want a VWAP or trace on that one. The market's sliding down a little bit, so at least we took the half out. It will only be a winning trade, but let's throw it to Brendan. I believe there's a few names for earnings.
Yeah, not much to look at, guys. We're just discussing this. We'll throw out the earnings calendar. Obviously, it's Friday, so not a lot of earnings to mention. But before the open on Monday, Checkpoint and CMS Energy. So we can get rid of that, guys. Let's maybe move on to just wrap things up. I mean, a great week in general, a great day. Again, is Valeria set? We can throw over to her maybe and get a look at what international day it is today.
Yeah, sure. What day is it? Let's go.
Guys, first of all, thank you very much for all of your support, for all of your likes and trading with us today. We are really trying for you and trying to be helpful and entertaining. Please support us back and subscribe for our channel. We're going away for the weekend, but we're going to be back on Monday, so you don't want to lose our account, right? So subscribe and you will get notifications when we are back on air. And guys, as usual, I'm saying what national day is today. Well, this picture made me hungry. Today is the National Pig in a Blanket Day.
Yeah, for sure. Those are pig in a blankets are.
Yep.
What a great appetizer if you're not familiar with it. Love those. It's a good one. Always around celebration time with family. Obviously, it can't be right now, but we like to have those in our family. A little bit of appetizers there. You throw them in the oven. So easy to make. Pigs in a blanket. Have you had one before, Valeria?
I did, but we call them differently in Russia.
What are they called in Russian?
Сосиски в тесте.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Okay. All right. Brendan, what's your opinion on these pigs in a blanket? Brendan and Neil there.
I'm going to date myself here, but I remember way back when these were very popular at weddings, for appetizers at weddings. So it reminds me of being at all kinds of weddings way back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same. They always seem to be at weddings. I mean, they're a tasty treat. I'm kind of hoping we have something good for lunch because it's making me hungry. The markets are making me hungry. But I got to tell you guys, thank you for the questions in the chat. Fantastic. Danielle Shea did an amazing job. Hopefully we can get her back on a regular basis to answer some of your options questions. Look, we're going to talk heavily about equities here, but it's not the only thing that we can trade, not the only thing that we can look at. It's always to get some fresh perspectives. It's been an amazing week. We've had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your support, of course, and hit the subscribe if you guys do like what we're doing here. And before we get too far away from things and go down the line, doing a fantastic job, Valeria, teaching us some Russian as well, and also handling the chat excellently. We have Sean Katina. We're doing our distancing. He's over there in the corner doing a fantastic job today, as always, with all the energy. On only 2 coffees, I think, today. So good job there. And Brendan Wickens, as always, Mr. Professional. Somehow he always has a good haircut, despite the fact he can't go to a barber. And for myself, Neil Roberts, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is tradertv.live. We'll see you next week.